Happy 21st birthday to my oldest son. As I told DJ Mikey Malone earlier today, only my oldest son would choose to spend his 21st birthday with a bunch of Mormons who don't drink. But more power to him. And maybe he'll give us a call. We'll hopefully speak with him later from Texas. But if not, I love you, Michael. Happy birthday. As you can tell from the stream, there's no guest host over here. St. Paul is engaged in some softball thing. Note to St. Paul, you're 40-something years old now. It's time to give the dream. And Loesch should be in here in a little bit to take St. Paul's place. But in the meantime, you folks are stuck with me. So if you're hoping for a unbiased, kind of ethical discussion from both sides of the aisle, where we debated kind of the good left and the good right, the bad left and the bad right, you're stuck with me and some input from Strip.
Oh, yeah.
So in other words, there won't be a lot of good comments from the right coming for a little while at least. It's going to be me, the lefty, and Strip the drunk. But thanks for checking out the show. We'll try to keep it on a logical, ethical level tonight. At least till St. Paul gets here. Now, once St. Paul gets here, I'll go back to my normal loose cannon self. Here's the agenda for the show. Coming up shortly, we should be joined by Kevin Mack. He is the voice of the Kitsap Blue Jackets and the head honcho dude over at ISPN Sports. And we'll have him on to talk some Kitsap Blue Jacket baseball. We'll also touch on some Seahawks, probably some Mariners. We'll also touch on my deep hatred for soccer. And that'll be a fun conversation. We haven't had K-Mac on for a while. And then later in the show, there's a whole bunch of bad news, bad juju coming out. What, he's not answering? No? Did you leave him a message? Did you?
Yes, I left a very nice message and told him to...
Did you leave him our call-in number?
I sure did.
All right, you better keep it on that call-in line then.
I'm watching. It's up.
I know he was excited when I talked to him today when I booked him to be on the guest tonight because I knew Paul was not going to be here. Because Paul's playing... Wait, can I ask you a question, Strip?
Yeah.
How old is your brother? He's about the same age I am, right?
Hold on.
Early 40s?
Yeah, actually. Yeah.
40, 41, something like that?
Yep.
Maybe 42 in that ballpark there somewhere?
No, he's like 40.
40?
Yeah, he's like 15 years older than me.
All right, so 40. And he's still playing softball in his 40s. Does he need to let the dream die? Is it time for him to put the dream away?
I'm 25. Should I stop playing around with computers and video games?
No, you're 25. There's a difference. He's 40.
I got 2 kids.
He's 40.
I got 2 kids. Should I put everything down I love?
No, he's 40. You're 25.
Should I stop going out to the bars?
I don't think anybody should be married till they're 30, by the way. He's 40. It's time to let the dream die. He's not the next third baseman for your Seattle Mariners.
No, but it's a hobby.
He's 40.
It's a hobby. He has fun doing it, right?
He should not have time for a hobby. He has 2 kids and a wife and 4 horses. He should not have time for a hobby.
You're saying I shouldn't have time for a hobby either.
Do you have 4 horses?
No, but I have 2
kids. Do you have a
kids.
wife?
I have 2 kids.
Do you have a wife?
I have 2 kids and a girlfriend.
Yeah, a girlfriend is not a wife.
Still, I got 2 kids.
Yeah, a girlfriend is not a wife.
I got 2 kids here
you
full-time.
have 2 kids.
2 kids.
I got 4 kids.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I still have my hobbies. You don't have 4 horses. You don't have a wife.
I got a dog.
You don't have a house payment.
I do have a house payment.
You have a rent.
No,
you don't have a mortgage payment.
No, it's mine.
Or you're making mortgage payments?
Yeah.
Are you?
Yeah, it's not in my name yet.
But you're making mortgage payments?
Yeah.
All right. Well, then I guess you should give up. Well, yeah, you should have given up drinking a long time ago. Because you are a lush, my friend. You are a lush.
A lush I am not.
I think you should come out. Have you been to a Blue Jacket game ever in your life?
I have.
You have been to a Blue Jacket game?
Yes.
Really? How long ago was that? A while ago?
Before my dad had his stroke.
Okay, so
a while
ago, yeah. Well, you should bring the girl and Wyatt to a.
I believe that was when they were still doing, or you were announcing all the games, or.
Yeah, I'm not doing them all now. I'm doing the weekend games now, but not all of them because of the day job.
Yeah.
So we did open. The Blue Jackets opened yesterday, as a matter of fact, as the brand new Medford Rogues came into town. and opened up the home opener was last night. Blue Jackets opened a couple days ago, actually earlier this week. They played the Cowlitz Black Bears in Longview to actually open the season. But the home opener last night, 700 plus fans at the Kitsap County Fairgrounds Ballpark.
So, speaking of that,
yes,
I saw an article. I think I saw an article.
Where'd you see an article?
I saw an article. It was posted on the Kitsap Suns Facebook page. Right?
Yeah, but when you click on it, you couldn't really read it because the Kitsap Suns charging money to see.
It says Kitsap Blue Jackets coach does something, finds and rethinks the players that he's getting, or something like that.
Or something, yeah, I don't know.
Right? Click on it. Yep, nope, can't read it.
Yeah, you can't read it.
Boom. Another article today about the Buckland Hill Road possibly getting closed for a year.
Yeah.
Nope, can't read it.
Boom, you can't read it. Yeah, let's touch on that. I don't want to spend too much time talking about Blue Jackets now because K-Mac will give us a call in a little bit. I will say this. Nice job, Kitsap, son. You have alienated probably 95% of the people that gave two rats' asses about your paper in the first place. Good job. Congratulations. I got an idea. Let's post stories to our Facebook page that nobody can read. Good job, Kitsap, son. Nicely played. I don't have an issue with the fact that they're charging for access, I guess. I mean, it makes sense. The newspaper industry is a dying industry. When you have people, idiots like me, that can do a podcast and can do a live broadcast, and we can be more timely in our reporting than the Sun can be, because we can. Do you know? And this is the God's honest truth. Osama bin Laden got shot in the head. We broke the story on this network before CNN did. That's the God's honest truth. Do you know that last weekend, there very well could have been a mass multiple murder in Port Orchard, and it would have taken the Sun 12 hours to report it. Their reporters are not in the office on the weekends, man. And if they are, it's a skeleton crew.
Be right back.
There's nobody in the office after 9 or 10 p.m. when they clear the thing to go to press. If there's a major house fire, if there's if something happens that's big and bad, there's nobody even there. So you're asking people, hey, I have an idea. Let's pay $10 a month to access the Kitsap Suns website so that we can read a lot of stories that are ripoffs from Reuters and the Associated Press. Which, by the way, I can get for free from King 5's website, or from mynorthwest.com, or from the Cairo website, or from ABC News, or from Reuters, or from the AP Press. I don't even know how much it costs to order the newspaper subscription per month if I wanted to have the Kitsap County Birdcage Liner delivered to my house.
Too much.
How much does it cost? Do you know how much a subscription is to the Kitsap Sun to have it delivered to my house? Is it more than $10 a month?
It's probably like 30.
Is it probably $30 a month? I don't know. I wouldn't pay to have the paper delivered.
Yeah, I think it's about 30. We used to get it when my roommate lived there, or lived with me and worked there. I never picked it up. I always went online and checked out the site every once in a while, but
I just don't get the premise of $10. I think $10 is ridiculous.
I think a lot of people wouldn't have a problem with it if the Sun didn't have so much advertising on their site already as it is.
Well, I don't have issues with advertising on the site either.
Well, no, I'm saying if you're either going to do subscription or you're going to do advertising.
I'm going to go to the front page of Kitsap Sun, which is not logged down, right? So you can go to the front page of their site. Go ahead and do it right now, okay? Go to the front page of the Kitsap Sun's website. And you can look at the stories you cannot read. Now, you tell me if you're willing to pay $10 for this smorgasbord of a hot mess of a newspaper. Are you ready? 1, Keyport Restaurant ready to go back to the future. What? The Whiskey Creek Steakhouse is moving across the street and erasing changes made on a reality TV show. That's their story at the top of the page, okay? So that's what you want to pay $10 to read about, is the Whiskey Creek Steakhouse. By the way, I can drive to the Whiskey Creek Steakhouse for less than $10. But let's go on. Meeting slated on overhaul of Town and Country Market. Oh, okay. Town and Country Market. All right. Well, that's interesting. Next. Okay. Home Depot pulls up stakes in Port Orchard. Okay. Nice. Okay. That's great. And a life raised to an art form. North Kitsap artist Dwayne Pascoe features stories and examples of his work in his new book, Life as Art. And Washington Senate proposes public vote on policy shifts. That's it. That's your 5 main stories in the top half, what they would call above the fold on the Kitsap Suns website.
Sounds fun to me.
Do you remember when you used to be able to go to the Kitsap Suns website and these articles some would have 150, 200 comments. There was public debate. There were people giving their input. There was public discussion going on about this stuff. Do you know how many comments they have on these stories? Between the 5 stories on the front page of the Sun, guess how many comments there are total?
One
freaking comment, man.
That's impressive.
So what the Sun has basically said is, well, guess what? We don't really care what you guys have to say now. We just don't really care, and we're just gonna leave it alone. Because unless you're paying us your $10, you don't deserve to have a voice.
Now,
good job, Sun.
How much of that was the Sun, though, and how much of that was their corporate office?
Well, it was decided by Scripps Howard, which is the company that owns the Sun and a whole bunch of other papers and some radio stations and HGTV or a couple television networks as well. So, I mean, it isn't just the Sun. But guess what? Here's the problem, okay? The Kitsap Sun is a whack-a-mole paper in a major market, okay? It's not like it's the Bellingham, whatever the Bellingham paper is, okay? Venture to Bellingham. The Bellingham paper is a niche in itself, okay? Because in Bellingham, there's no major city that's covering what you're covering within the next 3 hours. The Vancouver, British Columbia paper is not going to report your crap. And if they are, they're going to speak Canadian, eh? And the closest newspaper to Bellingham that's an American paper that's worth a crap is going to be in Seattle. The Skagit Valley Herald's not going to cover it. The Everett Herald's not going to cover it. And the Seattle papers are too far away to carry what's going on in Bellingham. So really, if you're in Bellingham, you have a niche market. They could do this. They have no competition. They're probably actually still writing a good chunk of their news stories. They're probably writing about current events and things that are going on. And don't get me wrong, I love the people that work at the Sun. All 4 of them.
That's a big office for 4 guys.
Well, there's more than that. I was exaggerating.
Oh, what, 8?
But seriously, you have Stephen Gardner, who writes the political stuff, and Josh Farley, who writes crime and punishment stuff. And there's the guy that writes I don't remember his name. He writes the fairies and the.
Isn't the crime stuff still free or something like that?
No, some stuff is free for a short amount of time before then it goes to paid, and I don't know how it works, and it doesn't matter. I mean, really. The Sun had the opportunity. Scripps Howard had the opportunity to make the Sun something important in this community. The ability to be a mouthpiece for this community, the megaphone for this community.
Hey, can we lay off the word mega?
Mega.
Yeah. You're getting a little close to mega mouth there.
The mega mouth. This is the Kitsap Sun, the mega mouth of Kitsap County. Listen, the soapbox for Kitsap County. That's what the Sun should have been striving to be. That's what the folks at Scripps Howard back in Cincinnati, I believe is where they're based at, should have been working to make them be. They should have been doing things to pull people to the Sun's website, to make people want to come to the Sun's website, to build viewership to the Sun's website. It's not about the $10. I crap $10 out of my ass every morning. It is about crapping $10 out for the birdcage liner that the Kitsap Sun has become. There's nothing in it. Listen to those 5 stories again. Seriously, the 5 stories. The Keyport restaurant that was on a reality TV show that went really bad, so they're going to move across the street and go back to the way things used to be. Well, guess what? There's your whole freaking story. They're going to have a meeting because they're going to overhaul Town and Country Market. Okay, congratulations. Washington Senate's going to propose a public vote on policy shifts. That actually has some bearing to maybe the way you live your life. Home Depot is going to pull up stakes in Port Orchard. I assume that means they're going to close down. And Dwayne Pasco has released a book. Are you telling me those are the biggest 5 pressing stories for the Kitsap Sun on a Sunday, which should be the big Sunday when all the news should be in the Sunday paper?
Hey, speaking of big.
Yeah.
How big's your head?
How big is my head?
Yeah.
It's pretty big.
How big?
Pretty big.
How big is big?
Are you asking what hat size I wear?
How big's your head?
I don't know. Why? Why are you asking how big my head is?
I just want to know how big your head is.
Would you like to measure it?
Yeah.
Do you have tape? You have some measuring tape upstairs? We'll measure my head if you'd like.
I don't have any tape, but I've got the metal kind, measuring tape.
Are you and your friend in there making fun of the size of my head?
No. I am.
You are. All right. Shut up.
I wanted to make it public.
All right. Fair enough.
Seriously, what size is that hat?
This is an adjustable hat. I think I wore a 7 3/8 or something.
That's a big fucking head.
It is. I got a big brain, dude.
Dang.
And you can't swear in the first hour. Nice try.
My bad.
Yeah. Put a quarter in the pet jar.
Mm-hmm. That's not gonna happen. Anyway, get back to what you're saying.
No, I'm just saying the Kitsap Sun could have done more to make themselves viable in this community, and matter in this community, and relevant in this community. And if you're with the Kitsap Sun, you think the decision that Scripps Howard made to make you charge $10 for internet access to your website, if you think that's done anything, you're nuts. I talked to a Kitsap Sun employee yesterday. Strip, you're going to love this. You ready? And I'm not going to mention their name. Okay? There's like 60 of you to choose from. I spoke to a Kitsap Sun employee yesterday. Do you know what they told me? They have to pay for access to the website. They don't even get a free account.
That's bogus.
It's horse crap. Total, complete horse crap. Hello? Hey, I work at the Sun, but I got to pay $10 a month to read the stuff on. Are you freaking serious? Great job, son. Good work. Nicely played. But really, can we start planning the memorial service for the Kitsap Sun? Because they're not going to last. It just isn't possible. There's not enough real news in the paper for it to work. You're like the independent newspaper group, but daily. You know what the independent newspaper group is, guys? That's like the Bremerton Patriot and the Port Orchard Independent and the North Kitsap Herald, which doesn't really do any real news. They do feature stuff like, oh, this week the Boy Scouts had a meeting and they had 3 Eagle Scouts and that's the way things go and everything was great and blah, this is what's great in our community. And that's what the Port Orchard Independent and the independent newspaper group does. They don't do hard news. They do features, which is great. Features are good. But it's not the Sun who says they're the only daily newspaper in Kitsap County. Well, guess what? You're not even a newspaper anymore. You're a refeed of other people's crap. And the occasional story you guys come up with. It's silliness. Total, complete silliness. Needless to say, I won't be spending my $10 to subscribe. Needless to say. So we had a phone call. I wonder if that was Loesch. Was that Loesch or was that Paul? Let's see what Strip says. Strip, who was that? This is what happens when they leave me in the studio by myself.
That was not for you. Was not for me. He only wants to come on air when St. Paul's here.
He only wants to come on air when St. Paul is here?
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah. Hey.
Whatever. No, that's okay. I as we get ready to go to break, let me just say this. I know that there are some people that only want to come on the air when St. Paul's here because Paul's an idiot. It's easier to have a battle of wits with an unarmed person. I get that. It's fine. You don't want to go toe-to-toe with K-Dog. I get that. That's fine. Paul will be here when Paul gets here. Whenever his mythical softball career is over and he realizes that he's not the next third baseman for your Seattle Mariners, it's all good in the hood. So we'll take a break.
Like peanut crackers.
What? Peanut crackers?
Let's go to break.
I'm going to teach Paul a lesson about doing these stupid softball games, man. We're going to go to the last call like 3 hours early tonight. And Paul's going to get in here and we're going to be talking about stuff that's totally inappropriate. And you'll be like, what happened? Well, you weren't here. Nobody was here to keep K-Dog in line. All right, stick around. More of the Outlaw Radio Network. Maybe at some point Strip and I will play strip poker. I don't know.
Man, you better make some phone calls and get some other people
Stick
here.
around. We're back after this.
The Outlaw Radio Network.
I'm Elaine Terso with Elaine Terso Photography. Let me tell you why I say that I am not your average photographer. At Elaine Terso Photography, I can handle all of your photography needs, including weddings, families, and newborns. I have an in-home studio, or I am able to come to you to take photos wherever you want to be. Mention Guardian Broadcasting when you book, and I will give you a 10% discount. For more information, visit me online at ElaineTersoPhotography.com or find me on Facebook.
Getting married, entertaining clients, or maybe you're just having a bash with your friends. No matter the occasion, make sure you plug into the tunes with E&M Entertainment. There are tons of DJs out there, but how many of them want to get to know you beforehand so they can play your soundtrack at your event at your kind of price? It's more than just a great selection. E&M plays your great selection, and that makes all the difference. So call 425-971-8078. That's 425-971-8078 for E&M Entertainment.
Paladin Data Systems is in the business of successful technology product deployment. Paladin Data Systems provides information management products and solutions to government agencies and others that need a trusted, experienced technology partner. Paladin's core philosophy is simple: do right, do our best, and treat others the way we would like to be treated. Paladin Data Systems is also a proud sponsor of the Habitat for Humanity of Kitsap County. Find out more about Paladin Data Systems online at paladindata.com. Paladin Data Systems. Innovation, integrity, results.
Hey sports fans, have you ever wished there was a live and local all-sports broadcasting network? Well, wish no more. It's ISPNsports.com, Kitsap's only live and local all-sports 24-hour broadcasting network, featuring the Kitsap Blue Jackets, the Olympic College Rangers, high school athletics, and the ISPN Sports Show every Saturday morning from 10 to noon with interviews from exclusive guests from around the Sound. So, you want sports? Go to ISPNsports.com.
Did you know volunteering with the Bremerton Central Lions Club can be fun? Community services for everyone. Young people, families, men, women. As a volunteer, you'll help your community and gain valuable skills, network with others, energize your life, make an impact, and have fun. Get in step with your community and volunteer. Visit us at bremertoncentralwa.lion.wap.org.
As Kitsap County's largest maintenance provider, Team Innovative in Paulsbo provides commercial and residential maintenance to hundreds of millions of dollars of local real estate. With services including parking lot maintenance and street cleaning to landscape and design, Team Innovative is committed to using a green approach and following a strong environmental conscience. Team Innovative Services, 697-6858, or visit them online at getinnovative.net. Team Innovative Services, get serious, get innovative.
Judy's Sewing in East Bremerton is your one-stop shop for all your sewing, alteration, and clothing repair need. At Judy's Sewing, you can also find tuxedo rentals and bridal party dresses for only $69 and bride's dresses starting at $189. Judy's Sewing at the corner of Fairgrounds Road and Central Valley in East Bremerton, near Handy Andy's, or call Judy at 360-662-1212. That's right, 360-662-1212 for Judy's Sewing.
The Legacy Group in Silverdale is a well-respected independent mortgage banker, absolutely committed to helping Kitsap County families on their path to home ownership. As an employee-owned company, the Legacy Group has a strong stake in your success, and they want to be your lifetime partner in helping you develop a strong real estate portfolio. Call the Legacy Group in Silverdale today at 698-6440 and find out how they can help you get started on the road to home ownership. 698-6440 for the Legacy Group, a lending experience that's a little different and a lot smarter.
Yeah, you're good to go.
All right.
Didn't you hear the music fade?
I heard the music fade. I didn't know the mic was on. Normally you point at me when the music is
I've tried. I always try to fade the music.
Yeah.
But you never catch on that I'm fading the music and your mic's hot.
Well, because normally you point when the mic is
If the
hot.
music
So
fades,
if
it's good
the
to
music
go.
fade means I'm ready, then I'll just assume that's ready. But
Yeah.
normally you point. So.
I usually unmute your mic first and then fade.
Oh, well, I didn't know that. Something good to keep in mind. Thanks for doing that. Outlaw Radio Network. Thanks for checking out the show. 253.
Awesome show.
Yeah, it is an awesome show. It's the best show going on in this basement as we speak.
Never mind.
Shut up.
Could be a show going on in the other room.
There could be.
You know, BJ could be here with that girl, and they.
That's true. But whatever happened to BJ and that girl anyway?
I
haven't seen them since the last time they were here, and things got out of hand.
Yeah.
That was a interesting show.
Well, you might be seeing a lot more of her soon.
Why is that?
You know why.
I don't know.
You know
I know
why.
BJ's talked about having a show.
Yeah.
But I haven't heard anything more about it.
All right, so we've been getting some things finished up first.
What have you? You have to tell me about it during the break then. Ass clown. All right, 253-617-1440 is the number to call. I'm trying to bring up a story to talk about, but suddenly the internet has gone the way of just completely horrible.
Really, it's working for me.
Everything's bogged down in here really bad. Like nothing's coming up.
I really need to get some free time and make some changes in there.
Yeah, if you would quit drinking so much, you would have some free
it's
time.
Not that. It's not that at all.
No? All right. Let me read this to you as the internet just finally started working again. I'm going to read this to you, and then I'm going to tell you why, and I'm doing this before Paul comes here on purpose. I'm going to tell you why Republicans need to shut their mouth.
Whoa.
Yeah.
All right, I got the other side on this one.
Okay, here we go. Good luck. All right, this is NSA leaker comes forward, warns of agency's existential threat. A 29-year-old computer. This is off of CNN.com, by the way. This story posted earlier today, as a matter of fact. My oldest son's birthday.
I'm liking where you're going with this.
29-year-old computer technician for the U.S. defense contractor leaked details of a top-secret American program that collects vast streams of phone and internet data, American and British newspapers revealed earlier today. Quote, my sole motive is to inform the public as to that which is done in their name and that which is done against them. The source, Edward Snowden, told Britain's The Guardian, one of the papers that broke stories on the program last week. The Washington Post also disclosed Sunday that Snowden was the source in its stories. Snowden is a former technical assistant for the CIA and has been working for the National Security Agency, the NSA, the U.S. Electronic Intelligence Service, for the past 4 years, the newspaper reported. He said he walked away from a six-figure job in Hawaii for the computer consulting firm Booz Allen Hamilton and is holed up in a hotel in Hong Kong in preparation for the expected fallout from his disclosures. Quote, I'm willing to sacrifice all of that because I can in good conscience allow the U.S. government to destroy privacy, internet freedom, and basic liberties for people around the world with this massive surveillance machine they're secretly building, he said. The Guardian reported Wednesday that Verizon Business Network Services had been ordered to hand over telephone records detailing the time, location, and telephone numbers involved in domestic calls from April 25th to July 19th. An order from a U.S. court that oversees U.S. surveillance efforts backed up the demand, the newspapers reported. Thursday, The Guardian and the Post disclosed the existence of PRISM, a program they said allows NSA analysts to extract the details of customer activities, including audio and video chats, photographs, emails, documents, and other materials from computers at Microsoft, Google, Apple, and other internet firms.
Yeah. Did you read that Obama was defending it?
Hold on. Let me finish. We'll get to Obama in a minute. Snowden said the NSA's reach poses, quote, an existential threat to democracy. He said he had hoped the Obama administration would end the programs once it took office in 2009, but he said President Barack Obama advanced the very policies that I thought would be reined in. Quote, I don't see myself as a hero because what I'm doing is self-interested. I don't want to live in a world where there's no privacy and therefore no room for intellectual exploration and creativity. Now, in a moment, Strip and I will talk about what all this means. Strip is the guy that understands a lot of this computer talk and PRISM and extracting the information from servers and blah, 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 blah. Because as much as Strip is a pimp, Strip is a geek.
Yep. And what I'm about to say is going to sound like blah, 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 blah to a lot of...
That's why I want you to put it into terms that idiots can understand.
Dumb it down.
Please do dumb it down because I'm an idiot. However, let me say this up front. Because now we're starting to hear some of the douchebags, Glenn Beck, Rush Limbaugh, come out of the woodwork about how the Obama administration is overexerting its power. The Obama administration is abusing the Constitution. The Obama administration is running roughshod. Blah, 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 blah. Shut your fucking mouth. Because if you remember, all this stuff happened, all this stuff started under your president, George W. Bush, and the Patriot Act. This is not the time to start the idea of playing politics. Because when your president started this, you didn't have an issue. And for all the idiot Democrats out there, they're going to defend Obama now? Shut your fucking mouth. Because you were the ones complaining about the Patriot Act when Bush put it into place. You can't defend Obama now. This is not politics anymore. This is your government ass raping you.
This is along the same lines. Did you read about the secret courts?
The secret courts? No, I haven't read about that, but I'm not surprised.
And this came out just this week as well too. This came out in the midst of everything, so I think it kind of got looked over by a few people. But it basically is the feds going in. They have secret judges all around the country, and they can call them up 24/7. They take them whatever information that they have and ask for a warrant. And I was actually reading an article on it. It was something like 1,400 requests had been done just under the Obama administration alone.
Right.
Versus it was like a quarter of that for the Bush administration. And all of them had been granted except one.
Right. And and again, I'm not making excuses for the programs. All right. And that's why we're going to have a question as we get into the 8 o'clock hour about what the programs are, what they're doing, what they could use the information for. Do law-abiding Americans really have something to worry about? Is this fair? Is this right? Is this wrong? Is this out of control? But see, here's the problem. Here's the rub, folks. The rub is Republicans will now use this as ammunition. Oh, we would never do such a thing. We can't believe that Barack Hussein Obama would try to use such evil practices and basically ignore the Constitution and trample on American civil rights. When in reality, the same conservative douchebags that are complaining about Obama now were the same ones that defended George Bush when he put the Patriot Act into effect in the first place, which was the stepping stone to where we are today. And what I would argue is that you no longer have two separate parties anyway. You have a party called politicians. You have some conservative politicians, and you have some liberal politicians. And they don't always get along, but they will always screw you. We see it time and time again. We see it when they don't pass bills to fund programs. And they let continuing resolutions in the federal government reign for 3 years. We see it when tornadoes rip through the state of Oklahoma. And the state of Oklahoma's own senator says, hey, check this out. I'm totally cool with approving some disaster funding, but before we do that, we need Congress to approve where that money's going to come from. But Congress hasn't passed a budget in the last 3 years. We see it in the state of Washington, where the people of this state passed by a 63, 64, 67% margin, a 2/3 majority requirement to raise taxes. And the Democrats gave their finger to the people of Washington and said, we're going to overturn that the first chance we get. And they did. For everybody like Paul, who buys into this idea that it's a conservative versus liberal argument, that it's the left versus the right, Democrats versus Republicans, fiscal conservatives, social liberals,
cocaine versus weed.
Yeah. For anybody at home that believes that's what we're dealing with today, you are an idiot. It was never Mitt Romney against Barack Obama in the last election. Because no matter what happened, no matter if Romney had won or if Obama had won or if Ron Paul had won or if Hillary Clinton had won or if John Edwards had won, it wouldn't have mattered. Because the end result is, A, the president is a limited position at best with limited power. The president cannot pass a law. The president cannot line item veto a bill. They can veto. And guess what? If they veto, the House and the Senate can override the veto and still pass it. It's not left versus right. It's us versus them. It's the government now against the people. Now, Paul will, when he comes in later, and I tell him what we've discussed, he will literally poop his pants and try to defend the conservative undercurrent and the conservative machine and some of the people in the conservative agenda. He'll try to make this out to be about how the Democrats are inherently evil, and there's been some precedent set because of the fact that Obama wants to give out free phones, because he references that on every single show.
No, I actually disagree with you. I don't think he will.
You don't think so?
No, I think he'll actually genuinely be pissed off that the U.S. government's going after this information.
I don't think he will. I think he'll blame it on Obama, like he blames everything else.
No,
he's completely blinded by the idea.
He might blame it on Obama, but after the comments Obama made about it, about PRISM alone, saying that it was a minor, what was it? A minor infringement on privacy rights. That's what Obama said. I mean,
well, guess what, B-Rock? If it's a minor infringement on privacy rights, it's an infringement on privacy rights.
Oh yeah, but it's necessary
Minor,
according to what
major, medial, minor. What if it's an infringement on privacy rights at all? It's a goddamn infringement on privacy rights. Now, I'm also of the belief, can I be totally honest here? I'm really of the belief, does it really matter? Okay? For example, if the White House wants to ping my Facebook page for what I put on my Facebook page, I don't have an issue with that. And I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why. Facebook, I don't have an issue with. Social media, I don't have an issue with. If you put stuff on the internet, on social media.
No, I was just going to tell you, don't use the word ping like that.
Well, you know what I mean. If they want to collect data off of my social media page, off of the internet, off of things I post online, I don't have an issue with that. I don't think you have an expectation of privacy when you put stuff online. I just don't think you do.
You actually do.
I don't think you do.
If you're using Facebook specifically, you can go through and read the privacy rights that Facebook has.
I just don't think you do.
But you do.
I think that if you're online, you have the same expectation of privacy that if I'm sitting on the ferry on my way to work in Seattle every morning and having a conversation with somebody across the table. You're on the internet.
But
man.
that's where your privacy. This is where I'm going with that. Your privacy, depending what you set your privacy to on Facebook. I mean, if I set my stuff to private, only friends can see it.
Right.
I deserve that privacy, right? You can't go look at it if you're not my friend on Facebook. Why should the government?
Yeah,
now,
I hold on, and I agree with that in principle, but here's the problem. You're relying on a third party to guarantee your privacy.
Yeah, and they do. They actually do a pretty good job of it, too, though.
Clearly they're not.
Well,
because the U.S. government is able to get a hold of the data and collect it.
That's one thing I was going to go to next is, you got Obama and other people saying that they do.
Yeah.
And you've got companies like Microsoft, Google, Facebook, Yahoo, who are all saying, no, they don't have a backdoor into our servers. So one of the two is lying, right? And if a company like Facebook is lying about this, their usership is going to decline a tremendous amount. Because people are going to go, well, why? I don't want to be on their site if they're letting the government take that stuff. That's suicide for a company.
Well, I don't know. Here's the deal. I think that putting stuff on Facebook is the equivalency to having a conversation in a subway. And I know that your terms and conditions in your Facebook user agreement is that you're entitled to certain levels of privacy. That's fine. I would not put anything on Facebook that you're not comfortable letting the government see. Okay? I wouldn't put stuff on the internet that you're not comfortable with the government seeing. Now, I would draw the line at correspondence, emails, private correspondence, stuff on private company servers.
Well, but
that to me would be different because that is an email, that is a one-to-one communication.
But now, if I send a message to somebody on Facebook, that's private.
I would think but that is different. I'm talking about when you're on your Facebook.
But
and you're
that's the same idea
comments,
that if I post something on my wall or I post a picture and it's set to private, to friends only or to family only,
right?
It's the same idea.
I don't know. See, to me, it's not.
It's the same idea.
It's just to me.
It really is. It's a privacy setting. Jay Inslee in Washington State here just passed a thing that basically says companies cannot ask for your Facebook login information. It's the same idea. That's a Washington State law.
Mm-hmm.
That's a privacy right. How's that any different? How's corporations asking for your information versus the government just taking it any different? I mean, do you want your work to ask for your information and log into your account and see what you're talking about?
My issue with the whole thing though is that it doesn't make any sense when you're asking the third party to protect how you've hooked up your settings. Then you don't really have any privacy. You know what I mean? I mean, because you're not...
You do. It's the same thing with our site, okay?
Mm-hmm.
You sign into our site, you create an account. All of your information is private. It's held with us. The only thing we actually have access to is your email address. We don't know your password. We don't know any of your private information. That's all encrypted, locked. We don't see any of that. Same way it should be with Facebook.
Right.
And any other place.
Yeah, I when you're relying on a third-party company to be the ones who decide that you're protected. I don't think you have any privacy. Like an email, a Facebook message, that is a one-to-one communication. There's not a setting required for that. It's just a one-to-one communication. There's no other way that it could be. It is what it is, what it is.
But, okay, let me put it this way. You're on a phone call. You're in a 3-way, 4-way call.
Sure.
Whether it be work or personal. Does the government have the right to listen to that call or find out the phone numbers of who's on that phone call?
If they have a warrant.
Without a warrant.
Without a warrant.
We're talking warrant.
Without a warrant, no. Without a warrant, no.
Okay, how is that any different? So you're on a party call, basically, 4 or 5 people. How's that any different than you having a conversation on your Facebook wall with 4 to 5 people?
Because you're not relying on Facebook to be the ones keeping the settings correct.
But you're relying on the phone company to keep your stuff secret.
I just think it's different. I can't explain it.
How's that
I
different?
can't explain it. It's
see?
intangible to me. Just to me, in my intangible little way, we're talking to the guy who makes it rational to eat chili at 2:00 in the morning. Shut your
I'll
mouth.
eat chili at 2 o'clock in the morning.
I make it make sense. But to me, when we're talking social media, Twitter, Facebook, is MySpace even still around? MySpace. You're talking about social media sites where people post stuff, whatever they want. The other thing is this. Of all the billions of people that have Facebook profiles, Facebook pages that are posting, is that the most cost-effective way to save money, to spend money? Let's monitor Facebook?
Well, I guarantee you
How many 12-year-old girls are posting on their love for Justin Bieber, and there's some idiot back in D.C. in a basement somewhere combing through these 12-year-old girls' Facebook pages going, all right, this girl loves Justin Bieber.
I guarantee you they're not. They're using...
this girl loves Justin Bieber. And what they're using what? Keyword searches?
Yeah, that's exactly what they do. They got systems. If they're doing this...
Okay, hold on.
They got systems that are doing keyword searches.
Hold on. That doesn't work, though. Are you telling me that Al-Qaeda is so stupid that they're not going to come up with a way around it?
They're using algorithms that search for keywords, phrases,
stuff
that the government already knows.
Okay, well, hold on. So I'm Al-Qaeda. Let's pretend that I am Al-Qaeda. If you're with the NSA, let me explain first. This is an example for the purpose of proving a point and not an actual threat. Let's pretend that I'm Al-Qaeda and I want to blow up a bomb in a federal building in Tallahassee, Florida. Do you think that as a member of Al-Qaeda, I'm going to say, yo, Habib, let's put a bomb in the bathroom of the federal building on 1st Street in Tallahassee so that their filters can pick that up? Or do you think I'm going to say, hey, Habib, can we deliver the package to the specified location in Florida on Friday?
Yeah, now see, here's the thing. When you're talking to somebody named Habib...
Yeah.
Because our government likes the profile.
Oh, well, do you think that they give him a name like George then? George, can we deliver the package on Friday at 3?
Look, I guarantee they have some kind of algorithm set up.
Do we think the terrorists are not so stupid that they can't get around it?
It doesn't matter if they're stupid. Look, it's the same premise as the CIA listening onto a phone call of 2 terrorists, and the terrorists say the exact same thing, but the CIA knows what they're talking about, but they can't prove it.
We didn't catch the dipshits in Boston. These were two untrained, uncoordinated. They didn't have an escape plan after they blew up the bombs at the marathon. They didn't have a freaking clue. All they knew how to do was, I'm going to take a pressure cooker and make a bomb out of it. Oh, now what do? I think I should get out of town. I mean, they didn't have a freaking clue. These guys were untrained, unprepared. They just knew how to make a pressure cooker bomb, and we couldn't stop them with all of our great
and we
intelligence.
were warned about them multiple times.
Yeah. Basically, here's what we did. Oh, yeah, Russians. Yeah, we're gonna take your advice. Yeah, kiss off. This is stupid. Algorithms and listening for specific like Al Qaeda's so stupid they're gonna speak in code that we're gonna be able to figure out.
It's the same thing. You type something into Google, right? You got to search. Say you're looking for how I got to say this without being using any bad words.
No, go ahead.
Just say you're searching for something and you mistype it, right?
Sure.
Google's going to autocorrect it, and it's going to or maybe it doesn't autocorrect it. It's going to pull up the closest searches to what it thinks you actually mean. That's an algorithm, all right?
Sure.
That allows that to happen. So
I get that.
It's not unrealistic to think like, hey, let's just search for keywords, key phrases, and things that are close to that. Or key phrase, when they say they could, for instance, say, when somebody talking to Al-Beeb,
Habib.
Habib,
I love
whatever.
the name Habib for a Muslim.
And talks
by the way.
about a
Habib.
package, or maybe somebody out of country is
I got
talking about a package.
I got a package.
We're going to go ahead and actually take a closer look at it. Flags it in their system.
Do you understand how ridiculous that is? You could have
not
hold
ridiculous
on.
at all.
You could have Habib. His front could be he works for a give me a business, any kind of a business. You pick a business, any kind of business. Grocery store. Okay, dude works at a Safeway. Okay, dude works for a Safeway. That's his cover. That's where Habib works. He's a terrorist, but he's in the country working for a Safeway. And so his phone conversation or his internet conversation says something to the effect of, our floral delivery will be Monday at 3 in Tallahassee.
Yeah.
The floral delivery could be a pipe bomb in the bathroom of the federal building. We don't know that. You can't tell me that they're so smart that they're going to go, okay, hold on. We are now scanning the bat channels for anybody who speaks the Muslim accent.
No, you got to understand, though. They're going to look at...
they're talking about delivering something. Oh, it's florals. Oh, my God, Muslim people hate flowers. It must be a bomb. No, that's not how it works.
No. They're not looking just at...
It's 8 o'clock, too, by the way.
I know. I'm getting the commercials ready.
I know you are.
They're not just looking at what exactly was said. They're looking at who it's being said to and also where they're at. Okay? You can hide an IP address, yes.
Sure.
I don't think your average terrorist can hide an IP address. I don't think they're trained well enough. I think they're trained well enough to blow themselves up.
They hide in plain sight. These guys in Boston were hiding in plain sight.
They were, but I haven't read up on it a little bit. But they also had went to Russia at one point in time, something like that.
Yeah, when they thought Chechnya,
when they thought that they had been, pulled into the whole world of terrorism and shit like that. So they could have been living normal lives for the longest time up until that point when they went over there.
You can't convince me. You can't convince me that there's anybody sitting in a closet somewhere in D.C. for the CIA, the NSA, the FBI, the DDIA, the NTSB, the FUCK, whatever freaking office they are, okay? You can't convince me that there's a federal employee back there who's listening to chatter and picking out an algorithm that will pick out a terrorist who can speak in any language they want to, in any insinuation they want to, and it can be just as simple as something of...
I guarantee that's what they're doing because Obama already said that they're doing it, along with other officials as well, too. The question is are they sifting through all the data or just some of it?
Well, what's the point of collecting data if you're not going to sift through all of it? You're hoping to get lucky.
That's a lot of freaking data to sift
But you're
through.
hoping to what? To get lucky with the one piece of data you catch and have that be it?
That's where algorithms come in.
Wow.
IT, in the computer industry, they use algorithms for everything. I mean, everything. Doesn't matter. You open up a website, there's some kind of algorithm on there that allows
So you think right now this conversation is showing up on the NSA?
After the fact that you said bomb and blowing up.
You think so?
Yeah, probably.
Well, for those of you with the NSA, I hope you listen every week to the Outlaw Radio Network, 7 to 10 Pacific Time at agemediasource.com. If you'd like to raid the office, we are in the home of Megamouth Mini Buyers. So be sure to stop in and see us. In where does she live at now? Marysville?
I don't know.
All right. Can you not do the news since we're so late? Can we just skip the news?
We're not late.
We're 2 minutes late.
Oh, we're 2 minutes late.
You need to watch the clock.
We're 2 minutes late.
If you watch the clock, you wouldn't have 2 kids. Stick around. Outlaw Radio Network.
From NPR News in Washington, I'm Barbara Klein. Edward Snowden says he's the one who leaked information on U.S. surveillance programs to news media, and Britain's Guardian newspaper confirms Snowden is the source. The 29-year-old American works for the defense contractor Booz Allen Hamilton in Hawaii, and as NPR's Nathan Rott reports, Snowden says he revealed the information because he felt it was necessary.
In an interview posted on The Guardian's website, Edward Snowden, who is said to be in Hong Kong, says that the public needs to know about government surveillance because it has gone too far.
Even if you're not doing anything wrong, you're being watched and recorded. And the storage capability of these systems increases every year consistently by orders of magnitude. To where it's getting to the point you don't have to have done anything wrong.
Intelligence officials have said that at least one of the programs that collected phone data is only used to store information that can later be used to find terrorist threats. National Intelligence Director James Clapper has called for an investigation of the leaks by the Department of Justice. Nathan Rott, NPR News.
In Afghanistan, the sound of explosions and gunfire are being reported near Kabul International Airport. Afghan security forces are saying insurgents launched an attack. A large NATO-led military base is located at the airport. Turkey's prime minister is demanding a halt to anti-government demonstrations, but protesters are dismissing the call. Protests continued today for a 10th day, and as the BBC's Mark Lowen reports from Ankara, police again fired tear gas into huge crowds.
Here in Taksim Square, there's been one of the largest demonstrations since this unrest began over a week ago. Thousands came for concerts and speeches, chanting for the Prime Minister to resign. But Recep Tayyip Erdogan has rallied his troops too. He told his supporters in Ankara that his patience was running out, that the protesters were looters and marginal elements, warning them, "You have started this fight against us, you will pay the price very heavily." While the Prime Minister has lost control of the centre of Istanbul, his supporters now plan large rallies in the days to come.
The BBC's Mark Lowen. Police in Santa Monica are identifying the gunman in Friday's shooting spree as 23-year-old John Zawahiri. Meanwhile, the death toll in the rampage climbed today after a 26-year-old woman who was in a vehicle when Zawahiri fired on it died of her injuries this morning, and all 5 people plus the gunman were killed. In Philadelphia, attorneys for some of the victims injured in last week's building collapse have toured the debris site, and they're blaming the deadly accident on incompetent demolition work. 6 people were killed in the collapse. The 4-story building that crashed onto an attached thrift store Wednesday was being taken down with heavy equipment. The lawyers claim it should have been done by hand because there were no steel supports. This is NPR News. Lebanese troops cordoned off streets in Beirut today with tanks and barbed wire after a protester was killed outside the Iranian embassy. The protesters had gathered there to rally against Hezbollah's participation in Syria's civil war. Hezbollah militants are backed by Iran. The violence is fueling concerns that sectarian conflict in Syria is inflaming tensions in Lebanon. An Israeli deputy minister says he opposes a 2-state solution to the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, and the top official says a majority of the Likud party also rejects that idea. But as NPR's Emily Harris reports from Jerusalem, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, Likud's leader, is rejecting the remarks.
Israel's Deputy Defense Minister Danny Danon reiterated his comments over several days to several different Israeli news organizations. In addition to rejecting the idea of a Palestinian state alongside Israel, he said forces within the Likud party and the broader coalition government would work to block any serious move toward a 2-state solution. Although Prime Minister Netanyahu's office dismissed Danon's comments as personal opinion, they reveal the challenge Netanyahu would face if he did go back to the negotiating table with Palestinians. U.S. Secretary of State John Kerry is working toward that negotiation and will return to the Mideast for more talks with both sides this week. Emily Harris, NPR News, Jerusalem.
At the French Open in Paris today, Rafael Nadal beat fellow Spaniard David Ferrer today. It's his first win after a knee injury forced him to leave the game for several months. It's quite a comeback. Nadal is the first man to win 8 titles at the same Grand Slam tournament. I'm Barbara Klein, NPR News in Washington.
The Outlaw Radio Network.
I'm Elaine Terso with Elaine Terso Photography. Let me tell you why I say that I am not your average photographer. At Elaine Terso Photography, I can handle all of your photography needs, including weddings, families, and newborns. I have an in-home studio, or I am able to come to you to take photos wherever you want to be. Mention Guardian Broadcasting when you book, and I will give you a 10% discount. For more information, visit me online at ElaineTersoPhotography.com or find me on Facebook.
Getting married, entertaining clients, or maybe you're just having a bash with your friends. No matter the occasion, make sure you plug into the tunes with E&M Entertainment. There are tons of DJs out there, but how many of them want to get to know you beforehand so they can play your soundtrack at your event at your kind of price? It's more than just a great selection. E&M plays your great selection, and that makes all the difference. So call 425-971-8078. That's 425-971-8078 for E&M Entertainment.
Paladin Data Systems is in the business of successful technology product deployment. Paladin Data Systems provides information management products and solutions to government agencies and others that need a trusted, experienced technology partner. Paladin's core philosophy is simple: do right, do our best, and treat others the way we would like to be treated. Paladin Data Systems is also a proud sponsor of the Habitat for Humanity of Kitsap County. Find out more about Paladin Data Systems online at paladindata.com. Paladin Data Systems. Innovation, integrity, results.
Hey, sports fans, have you ever wished there was a live and local all-sports broadcasting network, but wish no more? It's ISPNsports.com. Kitsap's only live and local all-sports 24-hour broadcasting network, featuring the Kitsap Blue Jackets, Olympic College Rangers, high school athletics, and the ISPN Sports Show every Saturday morning from 10 to noon with interviews from exclusive guests from around the Sound. So, you want sports? Go to ISPNsports.com.
Did you know volunteering with the Bremerton Central Lions Club can be fun? Community services for everyone. Young people, families, men, women. As a volunteer, you'll help your community and gain valuable skills, network with others, energize your life, make an impact, and have fun. Get in step with your community and volunteer. Visit us at bremertoncentralwa.lion.wap.org.
As Kitsap County's largest maintenance provider, Team Innovative in Paulsbo provides commercial and residential maintenance to hundreds of millions of dollars of local real estate. With services including parking lot maintenance and street cleaning to landscape and design, Team Innovative is committed to using a green approach and following a strong environmental conscience. Team Innovative Services, 697-6858, or visit them online at getinnovative.net. Team Innovative Services, get serious, get innovative.
Judy's Sewing in East Bremerton is your one-stop shop for all your sewing, alteration, and clothing repair need. At Judy's Sewing, you can also find tuxedo rentals and bridal party dresses for only $69 and bride's dresses starting at $189. Judy's Sewing at the corner of Fairgrounds Road and Central Valley in East Bremerton, near Handy Andy's, or call Judy at 360-662-1212. That's right, 360-662-1212 for Judy Sewing.
The Legacy Group in Silverdale is a well-respected independent mortgage banker, absolutely committed to helping Kitsap County families on their path to home ownership. As an employee-owned company, the Legacy Group has a strong stake in your success, and they want to be your lifetime partner in helping you develop a strong real estate portfolio. Call the Legacy Group in Silverdale today at 698-6440 and find out how they can help you get started on the road to home ownership. 698-6440 for the Legacy Group, a lending experience that's a little different and a lot smarter.
All right, it's the Outlaw Radio Network. Thanks for checking out the show. Moving on into hour number 2. Let me just say, Strip, you are the best co-host I've ever had on this show.
Oh, he just gave me butterflies.
You are outstanding, man. Let me just say that.
I'm touching myself over here now because of that.
Careful.
Hey, there was no bad words in that statement.
Well, no, there's not. I guess it's true. I mean, if you were touching your forehead, you're touching yourself, right?
Yeah, I didn't say where I was touching myself. I just said I'm touching myself.
Oh, that's fine. All right, fair enough then. All
I'm
right.
touching my thigh.
Fair enough then. All right, 253-617-1440 is the number to call, so be a part of the show. Dun, 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 dun. So, I do want to specify one thing. I'm kind of getting blown up in some email that I'm getting here to my email box, kdog@outlawradionetwork.com. I'm not in any way sticking up for the program when I was saying that Republicans needed to shut their mouth. Let me just make this clear, though. The issue with the NSA collecting the data is that this is not a political thing. This is not a Democrat thing. This is not a Republican thing. This is not a anything thing. This is honestly both parties doing the exact same thing. Okay? This is both parties making it clear that they don't care about what you believe your constitutional rights are. They will put in place whatever rules they feel like they need to put in place. They'll violate the Constitution however they feel like they need to. Whether that be, going to Verizon and getting copies of all the phone calls that are made. Oh, No big deal. It doesn't matter. Whether that's pilfering off all the emails. Now, I know that some people out there are thinking, well, if we don't have anything to hide, what are we worried about? I mean, really, what does it matter if we don't have anything to hide? And you might have a valid point, maybe. But
hey, you know
everything
what?
is progressive. Everything, you start with something, then you whittle it away, and you whittle away your rights, and whittle away your rights, and the next thing you know, you don't have any rights left at all. Go ahead, Strip.
Unless you're somebody like me,
Yeah.
who has done some questionable things in my life.
Have you?
Still legal, but if you only heard blips of it, or only heard what I said, and you take it out of context, I could be in some serious shit.
Well, I'm surprised you're
All
not in
right.
more serious trouble than you have already been in your life.
Well, Kitsap County loves me.
Kitsap kind of does love you, and it's good to have friends in high places.
I wouldn't exactly say friends, but
Well, it helps to have friends in high places. It
Mm.
really does. It helps. It helps to know people, I guess is what I'm getting at.
yeah, I wouldn't really. I think you took that out of context.
No, you have friends in good places.
I do, but
how about like when Paul went to jail for beating the crap out of your other brother? Remember, he knew people there, so they didn't even put him in holding.
Yeah,
He got to hang out and talk to people.
Yeah,
Come on now.
I think my situation's a little different than that, though, and I've painted a nice target on my back once or twice.
Once or twice. Yeah.
That I don't think anybody can really help me with.
Yeah, once or twice.
Half a dozen.
All right. 253-617-1440 is the number to call. So now, Strip, let's double back though for a second. What's the worst case scenario? Let's say this prison project and all this data mining continues. They get all this information. What is the worst case scenario that happens with this? Let's say the government milks every conversation we have. Internet, phone, email, everything. Let's say they just milk the crap out of it and they mine the whole thing. What's the worst case scenario? As a tech guy, what's the worst thing that you think the government would come up out of that? Are they just going to find stuff we don't want them to know about? Is that kind of the worst case scenario? Suddenly I'm getting tickets for when I admitted that I ran naked through Walmart 6 years ago and they caught me. Is that what
you
it
remember
is?
the movie V?
Yes.
I think you're talking situation scenarios like that. I mean, if you're talking absolute worst case scenario, you're talking. Sure. You know, there's people that are anti the government taking our guns away. So if you're talking hardcore, the government's gonna come in and listen to what we're saying, and they're gonna start acting on what people are saying, and they're gonna try to make changes.
Right.
I think you're talking guns going away, curfews, martial law. I mean, but that's such a speculation to even go there with what they're going to do with it, with all that information. But I mean, essentially, you could see them start saying, "Hey, this has got to go, this has got to go, and this has got to go." And we know this because we've been listening in on everything you guys have been saying.
Sure.
And that would be worst case scenario. Now, if they did that, if they started doing stuff like that, I think you're going to see a lot of people standing up, fighting that.
Do you think
a lot more than you have in the
past? Do you think people would really fight it though? I mean, haven't we gotten so lackadaisical as a country that just?
I think. Well, one of the biggest things
short of them putting us in boxcars and sending us off to Auschwitz, we would just let it happen. Don't you?
No,
think?
I think actually the biggest thing that I think you would see, I would think two things. One, I think if the government started taking away guns, I think you would see a huge uprising for that. Just in states where guns are prominent, especially backwoods states, Texas, Georgia.
Texas is a backwoods state.
Well, no. Well, Texas is a backwoods state, but places like Georgia where they call it backwoods, people who hunt a lot, stuff like that.
Sure.
Alaska, countries that have been very vocal about anti-gun laws that the government's tried to make in the past. The other thing I think that you'd see a big uprising in, not necessarily in violence,
yeah,
just in people standing up. Not necessarily standing up because you wouldn't see them. Would be, and we've already seen it, is with the internet. You would see a huge backlash from internet users, which we've already seen.
Sure.
Groups like Anonymous would grow exponentially. Their members, what you could call members or however they run their group, I think would grow and they would work at shutting down government sites and making the government's life hell as best as they could without any violence.
Yeah, I just I don't know. Part of me thinks that in America we've gotten kind of lazy.
Yeah. Well, let me put it this way. The way the internet portion of it would be handled by a group like Anonymous versus the way gun rights would be handled would be two different things. As soon as anti-internet policies came out or anything like that, taking people's rights away on the internet or anything like that, you'd instantly see backlash from the internet. Gun rights, I think you'd see a lot of protests initially. As soon as somebody got shot, during any kind of protest, somebody got killed or shot by whether it be a local police officer or military or anything like that, I think that's when you'd see a huge uprising. Especially if they started actually coming to take guns. You'd see people actually, I'm not going to hand my gun over.
Yeah, I don't disagree that there wouldn't be some people that would pitch a fit. Okay, but I don't think it would be. I don't think it'd be as widespread as people think it is. I think a lot of people would just roll over and take it.
I don't think so.
Not that it's right, but I think a lot of people would just roll over and take it.
Even here in Washington, I'm in and out of people's homes all the time.
Yeah.
And for instance, during the show that we usually do, there's at least between the 3 people that are always here.
Right.
Oh, we'll even say Lurch that's here usually.
Where is Lurch? Is he still in Texas?
He's in L.A. right now.
What's he? L.A.?
Yeah, he was in he went to Texas, New Orleans. Now he's in L.A. I believe. But out of the 4 people who normally do this show, okay, 3 out of the 4 own guns.
Really?
Really.
Well, remind me not to ever sneak into your house.
I believe the previous show to this. Well, actually, I won't get into the previous show because I don't.
Well, yeah, you can't talk about that. Yeah.
There's actually some other people that that you would be surprised that actually own guns that don't speak about it, that they actually have them.
Well, I have family members that own guns.
But
I wonder how much people would actually stand up and stand up for that rider if they would just be like, you know what? Okay, fine, whatever.
Danger Boy is a perfect example. Well, actually, let me finish it.
He's not committed to nothing.
No. Well, there was what I was saying is I go into a lot of houses. I see a lot of guns. You'd be surprised how many gun owners there are here in Washington alone.
Yeah.
In Kitsap County, not counting Navy personnel. Okay? There is a lot. Now, that being said, I had a conversation with Danger Boy one day, and I point blank asked him, I said, hey, we were talking when they were first talking about banning guns.
Sure.
And he's like, oh, you telling me you wouldn't let the government take your gun? And the only thing I took for me to actually say to him was, I said, at what point are you actually going to stand up and fight for what you believe in? Okay. Yeah. That was enough of a question in his head to say, you're right, actually. Why would I hand my gun over to the government if they came knocking on my door? That's all it takes is one question.
Yeah, no, and it's again, and I'm not saying that people wouldn't be upset, and I'm not saying that people would agree and want to do that. I'm just saying that I think a lot of people would just be like, okay, if that's what the government wants, I guess I'll just have to deal with it. If that's what they're saying.
Oh, I don't think so.
You really? Okay, give me a percentage of gun owners that you think would pitch a fit.
Well, I think
give me a percentage, an estimate that you think would pitch a fit.
Well, I think you'd get almost every gun owner out there protesting about handing over the guns. Look, if you're a gun owner, you didn't buy a gun to be excuse my language here, but to be a pussy. You bought it either for self-defense or you hunt, or maybe you just like shooting. But if you bought it for self-defense or for hunting, you're not gonna willingly hand over your weapon to anybody. if you ever watch a gun owner,
Yeah.
they don't even just let anybody usually see their guns or handle their guns. And when they do, they're very cautious about it. They check the gun, make sure it's unloaded. Make sure there's no way that if they're letting somebody see it, that they're going to let that it could accidentally fire.
Right.
Right. It's essentially if you're handing over your gun, especially like Alaska, you're handing over the way you feed your family a lot of times.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Nobody uses a gun now to feed their family anymore. Stop that.
Hold on.
Nobody uses a gun to feed their family.
Maybe not 100% feed their family, but they do use it as a source of way to get deer.
Occasionally. Once or twice a year, maybe.
Alaska's one of the few
recreationally.
Alaska's one of the few places where you can actually fire a gun on somebody else's property, and it's okay to hunt on anybody's property.
Hold on. But again, I'm not saying that people don't hunt, but nobody's using that as a primary way to feed their family. Nobody.
Not a primary, but they do feed their family using it because they do go out and hunting.
Okay, so they go out what? Hunt once? But you can't use that as a qualifying because it's not like their family's going to starve if you don't let them go hunt a deer.
I got a buddy of mine.
Yeah.
He goes hunting probably 10 to 15 times during the season. During deer season.
That often?
Yes.
Does he have a wife?
Yes. And he's got
that's
5
why he
kids.
Hunts. That's why he hunts, is to leave the wife and kids
He's
at home.
got 5 kids. He brings the
He's
deer
like, I got 5 kids and a wife. I'm getting the hell out of here.
He
for
brings
a
the deer home, right?
This is the most peace and freaking quiet I get. I'm getting the hell out of here.
He takes the deer home, has it butchered.
Yeah.
Has the meat. Do you know how much meat you get from a deer?
A lot.
You get a lot of meat from a cow from butchering a cow.
I'm not debating that.
That's a lot of food.
I'm not debating that.
I mean, so people do still. They feed their family with guns in some areas still. That's they go out, they go hunting, they bring the meat home, they cook it, they butcher it, all that stuff. They freeze it.
What 1/2 of 1% of Americans? Maybe 1/2, maybe
you
a
live in
quarter
Washington.
of Americans.
You live in Washington.
Yeah.
You live in a city.
There's a good amount of people in Washington that hunt.
But you live in a city where, most people out here.
Your definition of a city is very loose.
No.
This is Bremerton, by the way.
Okay, you know what? You're not going to go hunting in Bremerton, are you?
Depends what I'm hunting for.
Bremerlows?
If I'm hunting Bremerlows.
But you're not going to really go hunting here in the city limits.
You other brothers can't do that. Okay, go ahead. What?
Or Seattle. You're not going to go hunting in Seattle or Bremerton. I mean, the cops are going to be pulling up behind you with their guns on you as soon as you pull the trigger.
Guys, you're just swearing left and right today, aren't you?
I'm trying to hold my tongue.
I hope my pastor's not listening to the show tonight. If you are, I apologize.
But but back to what I was gonna say is, I bet you if I would say probably 90% of gun owners would be out there at least protesting.
Do you know what my idea of hunting is?
What?
Calling Minder Meats and getting like a side of cow or something. Just can I get a side of beef, please?
And then I'd say you'd probably get if the government actually came to take the guns, I'd say you get probably 25% at the door that would either barricade themselves in the house or fire their weapons at the officers or military that was there to take the guns. The other 75%, well, we'll say 50%,
sure,
would hide their weapons, whether it be bury them somewhere, dispose of them. Let
me give you a counter proposal then. What if the Obama administration came out next week and said, okay, we've reached a compromise with House Republicans. We're not going to ban guns. We're going to ban the sale of new guns. So if you have a gun, your grandfather and you can keep it forever.
You're going to have a huge uproar.
But you can't buy any. We're not going to have any more guns for sale.
What about ammunition?
You can still buy ammunition.
You're still going to have a huge uproar.
You think so?
Yeah.
I don't know. Well, I just don't know.
Yeah, you would have. It's unconstitutional for us not to be able to bear arms.
Again, I'm not saying it would be constitutional. I'm just saying, do you think people would actually stand up for that?
Yes.
We have a country of lazy ass people, man. I'm telling you.
They may be lazy. You know what though?
What did he say?
He said they ain't lazy when it's something they believe in.
I don't know, man. We don't stand up. People don't stand up for nothing in this country anymore.
Yeah, there's not a big enough cause for the whole country or half the country to come together. I mean, last time I think that really happened. Slaves? We helped them out for a while.
Slaves, we helped them out for a while. Oh my God. Hey, darkies, we helped you out. We're good, right? All's good. Okay, cool. All right, whatever.
That's my belief.
You're such an idiot. You really are a tool, dude.
No.
Hey, blacks were cool, okay? All right.
Hey, we made it right with the natives. We took your land and gave you a little piece and a bunch of money.
We are not cool, by the way. We are not cool till I get my casino, okay? Then we're cool. When I can build a casino, we're cool. All right, go ahead.
I don't even know where I was going now. But, yeah. Let's break.
You want to go to break? All right, we'll go to break. I have no idea where we're going with the show now. I'm kind of lost without having Paul to argue with. I used to do my own show all by myself for 3 hours every day, and now I can't even do it for a half an hour without losing track.
You can't argue with me?
I can't argue with you. You don't make any sense.
Hey, I'll show you something that makes sense during the break.
Where is your woman at anyway?
At the river.
Hey, do you love her?
Yeah, we'll be back after this break.
Stay tuned.
The Outlaw Radio Network.
I'm Elaine Terso with Elaine Terso Photography. Let me tell you why I say that I am not your average photographer. At Elaine Terso Photography, I can handle all of your photography needs, including weddings, families, and newborns. I have an in-home studio, or I am able to come to you to take photos wherever you want to be. Mention Guardian Broadcasting when you book, and I will give you a 10% discount. For more information, visit me online at ElaineTersoPhotography.com or find me on Facebook.
Getting married, entertaining clients, or maybe you're just having a bash with your friends. No matter the occasion, make sure you plug into the tunes with E&M Entertainment. There are tons of DJs out there, but how many of them want to get to know you beforehand so they can play your soundtrack at your event at your kind of price? It's more than just a great selection. E&M plays your great selection, and that makes all the difference. So call 425-971-8078. That's 425-971-8078 for E&M Entertainment.
Paladin Data Systems is in the business of successful technology product deployment. Paladin Data Systems provides information management products and solutions to government agencies and others that need a trusted, experienced technology partner. Paladin's core philosophy is simple: do right, do our best, and treat others the way we would like to be treated. Paladin Data Systems is also a proud sponsor of the Habitat for Humanity of Kitsap County. Find out more about Paladin Data Systems online at paladindata.com. Paladin Data Systems. Innovation, integrity, results.
Hey, sports fans, if you ever wished there was a live and local all-sports broadcasting network, but wish no more, it's ISBNsports.com. Kitsap's only live and local all-sports 24-hour broadcasting network, featuring the Kitsap Blue Jackets, Olympic College Rangers, high school athletics, and the ISBN Sports Show every Saturday morning from 10 to noon with interviews from exclusive guests from around the Sound. So, you want sports? Go to ISBNsports.com.
Did you know volunteering with the Bremerton Central Lions Club can be fun? Community services for everyone. Young people, families, men, women. As a volunteer, you'll help your community and gain valuable skills, network with others, energize your life, make an impact, and have fun. Get in step with your community and volunteer. Visit us at bremertoncentralwa.lion.wap.org.
As Kitsap County's largest maintenance provider, Team Innovative in Paulsbo provides commercial and residential maintenance to hundreds of millions of dollars of local real estate. With services including parking lot maintenance and street cleaning to landscape and design, Team Innovative is committed to using a green approach and following a strong environmental conscience. Team Innovative Services, 697-6858, or visit them online at getinnovative.net. Team Innovative Services, get serious, get innovative.
Judy's Sewing in East Bremerton is your one-stop shop for all your sewing, alteration, and clothing repair needs. At Judy's Sewing, you can also find tuxedo rentals and bridal party dresses for only $69 and bride's dresses starting at $189. Judy's Sewing at the corner of Fairgrounds Road and Central Valley in East Bremerton, near Handy Andy's, or call Judy at 360-662-1212. That's right, 360-662-1212 for Judy Sewing.
The Legacy Group in Silverdale is a well-respected independent mortgage banker, absolutely committed to helping Kitsap County families on their path to home ownership. As an employee-owned company, the Legacy Group has a strong stake in your success, and they want to be your lifetime partner in helping you develop a strong real estate portfolio. Call the Legacy Group in Silverdale today at 698-6440 and find out how they can help you get started on the road to home ownership. 698-6440 for the Legacy Group, a lending experience that's a little different and a lot smarter.
All right, it's the Outlaw Radio Network. Bottom of the second hour. Just got a text on the Facebook.
From?
Says the best show ever.
Oh, yeah. Because St. Paul's
The
not
exact
here, right?
quote is, Paul should have softball games more often. Signed, Paul's wife. All right, 253-617-1440. Where'd the pump go?
Man, I'm hearing shit tonight or something. I swear to God.
I know you keep looking at the door like you think somebody's here. I keep thinking Paul's an open door.
No, I feel like I swear I keep hearing like footsteps
Is it
upstairs.
haunted?
And there's nobody up there when I go up there and look.
I just heard that too.
Okay, somebody's actually here. Somebody's
Someone just
actually
asked,
here
yeah.
now.
Is it Loesch?
I don't know. I'm waiting to see who's coming. Oh, no.
Who is it?
No, step back. This is the best show ever tonight.
It's got to be Paul.
You gonna go in?
All right, come on in. It must be St. Paul, the voice of softball.
Yeah, wait. Actually, give me 1 second.
Oh,
give
it
me
is
1
St. Paul,
second
the
before
voice
you
of
walk in
softball.
there.
No. Let's go ahead and bring St. Paul, the voice of softball, in here.
And go now.
So we'll bring Paul on in here as we get started here at the bottom half of the second hour, which is good. We're about to segue into a new conversation. As we had what we've talked about earlier, we were at the Sun because of their $10 fee again, because I can't read any local news, so we worked on that. We talked about the fact how Republicans should shut their mouth when it comes to talking about this thing with the NSA taking data from phone records and computer records, and we've kind of had some general nonsense. So joining us here in the broadcast center is the one and only St. Paul, the voice of softball. What's up, buddy? Did you guys win today?
Yeah, we did.
Oh, your mic's not on yet. Hold on. We'll let Strip turn your mic on. And is his mic on now? All right, go ahead, Paul.
What do you want me to say?
There you are. Did you guys win today?
Yeah,
Who'd you play?
We crushed them. Moondogs. Down in Port Orchard.
Yeah, Moondogs 1 or Moondogs 2?
Yeah,
It was just Moondogs that had to be 1 then.
all I know is it's Moondogs, and we smoked them. It was pretty bad.
What was the final score?
Like 17-3.
What position do you play? Are you pitching?
I pitch. Yeah.
Do you?
I do. I don't catch, by the way. Ever.
I'm going to leave that alone. I'm going to leave that alone. Yeah. Blue Jackets got slaughtered today, by the way.
Did they?
Yeah, 12-2. But we dominated yesterday, 7-0. So
Well, then that just shows you what baseball's like, man. It's just
you win one, you lose one. It's tomorrow they got to come back out and put it behind.
you're going to win 40%. You're going to lose 40%. The key is the 20% left over.
Yeah.
What do you do with that 20%? And that's what determines your
Didn't
season.
Yogi Berra say that? We're going to lose. We're going to win 60. We're going to lose 60. It's what we do with the rest.
Yeah, probably. Probably wasn't Yogi Berra because he was into football, but
Yogi Berra was not into football. Yogi Berra was the catcher for the Yankees.
okay, fine. I don't know. Did he play for the Yankees?
Yeah, Yogi
I don't
Berra was a
fucking
catcher
know
for the Yankees.
who played for the Yankees. Okay, cut me some slack. I don't like the Yankees. I don't like anybody who's ever played for the Yankees.
Can I tell you a secret? Actually,
I even stopped liking Ichiro. In fact, I stopped eating Japanese food because Ichiro went to play for the Yankees.
Can I tell you a secret? I hate the Yankees. I loathe the Yankees. But if the Mariners cannot win the World Series this year, which they're so not going to,
Mariners aren't even going to be in the running.
I kind of want the Yankees to win it this year because I kind of want Mariano. I kind of want Mariano Rivera to win a ring on his way out the door.
Oh yeah, because the four that he already has weren't enough for you.
The dude's 47 years old.
I don't
or something.
care. I don't care
or something.
I don't.
He's got 26 saves, and it's the beginning of June.
Why do you care?
He's retiring at the end of the year.
Good.
I'm just saying. I like it when there's a guy that just should have hung it up a long time ago based on his age, and he just comes out every day and just basically gives everybody the finger and says, yeah, you might think I'm too old, but I'm going to not only am I going to do well, but I'm going to dominate. I mean, that's just impressive.
He's not dominating, but
he's got 26 saves at this point in the season.
he's playing for a dominant team.
But that's
So
dominating to
let's-
have that many saves.
Let's keep it where it is. Keep it where it should be.
All right.
So
You missed our conversation. We interviewed Steve Largent in the first half hour of the show.
Really, Steve Largent,
Yeah.
impressive.
Yeah, so you missed it.
Impressive. Was he calling from the hospital room that he's in right now, or was he just?
He's not really in the hospital room, is he?
Yeah.
Is he really? I was making that up as I was going along. Is
Really,
he
that's
really in the
not
hospital?
funny. You know, he has a child that has a disability, and his child got really sick and is in the hospital. It's all in the news.
I didn't know that. I was making up a story.
Wow, you're an ass.
I did not know that. Is he really in the hospital?
No, he's not.
You're such an ass. I hate you. So how was your week, buddy? How was your week? Good to see you.
Oh, it's been I've been working on my barbecue. Been welding and sanding and all that other good stuff. But I don't know. It's just the week. Well, it was hot. For a fat guy, and
you're not a fat guy. My God,
I'm fat enough for it to have been hot.
Mm-hmm.
You work inside. I don't.
I do work inside.
Is it air conditioned where you work?
And I like it. Yes,
because I'm
of course
pretty
it's
sure it's not air conditioned when
I
I work outside. So
it's air conditioned.
Yeah, actually, it just. I don't know. It was. This week sucked. The weather. Everybody's like, "Oh my God, look at the weather! It's nice and hot, and it's sunny outside." And I mean, yeah, ass. There's no wind blowing, and it's hot. So I'm like, I need something to cool my butt off, but there was nothing there. So that's all right. It's all good.
Do you know that Steve Largent ran for the governor of Oklahoma in 2002
and lost?
Do you know one of the reasons why they said that they believe he lost?
Why is that?
He used a vulgarity in response to an Oklahoma City television reporter who asked him where he was at the time of the September 2011 attacks. He had been on a hunting trip, and he did not know about the attacks until then. He used some kind of a vulgarity when he responded to the I have to look up this story. This is interesting. All right. I'd like to know what Steve Largent, the ultimate Christian, said. As a vulgarity, what did he say? Fuck off?
I don't care. I don't.
I'd like to know what he said.
I don't care what Steve Largent said. Steve Largent is like Mohammed or Jesus or what was the name of the dude that led the cult into Utah? Oh yeah, Joseph Smith.
Oh, Joseph Smith. Yeah. Okay.
Anyway, he's like on that level for me, and I'm like Steve Largent could do no wrong. The hit he laid on Steve Atwater.
Oh, I know. I know. By the way, one of the other reasons why they believe that he lost this is just too funny not to read. This is actually off the Wikipedia page, but they give reference points.
They give reference.
He was running against Brad Henry, who is a Democratic state senator in Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Henry supported cockfighting. There was a last-minute endorsement by a rural cockfighting interest group that turned out large numbers of cockfighting supporters in the election. And they believe the cockfighting interest group turned the tide of the election.
The cockfighting interest group.
I'm reading it. Hold on, let's see.
That cannot possibly
14,
be.
15, and 16. Hold on, yeah. USA Today. 14, 15, and 16.
Steve Largent runs for office, loses as a result of cockfighting
interest groups. Yeah, because the guy who was running against supported cockfighting. I
don't know how to take that.
Only in Oklahoma do they support cockfighting, I guess. I wasn't aware that.
I don't know what to say to that.
That's outstanding.
Oh, well.
All right, well. Wee dog. All right, so anything else going on for the weekend?
Oh, good Lord. Who cares? It's
Who cares?
I don't mean that in a bad way. I'm just, I don't know, dude. I'm disheveled.
You look a little wobbly.
No, I'm a little tired.
All right, I don't want to hear about it.
Well, our game was right down the street, right here at Lions Field, right? So I'm like quarter mile down the road, and we really beat the other team pretty bad, and they were one of the undefeated teams left in our league, and well, let's just say I ran a lot.
Because you guys scored a lot of runs.
Because we scored a lot of runs. And when you're built like this and you have to run 60 feet and then 60 feet and then 60 feet, before you know it, you're looking up going,
is it 60 feet in between the bases? I thought it was 45.
oxygen. Yeah, I don't know. I don't care. It doesn't matter.
Oh, okay.
Does it matter? Hey, you ran 45 feet. I don't care. Give me your own team. Give me your own team.
Hey, did you hear that they're going to close Buckland Hill Road during construction for possibly up to a year?
Buckland Hill, really?
Yeah.
I don't care.
Do you know that if you try to click on the Kitsap Sons website to read about the store, you can't read about it because you have to pay $10 a month to read about it?
Really?
Bunch of butt
That's
fuckers.
fucking brilliant. That's just brilliant.
Bunch of butt fuckers, man. I swear
Listen,
to
by the
God.
way, we kicked the snot out of the Tacoma Suns or the Kitsap Suns team.
Did you?
Yep. 2 weeks
Did
ago.
they charge you $10 to watch them lose?
We joked. No joke. We joked about that while we were on the field. Here comes your pitch. That's $10.
$10.
Oh, we were totally. I don't even know who on the team actually worked for the Sun, if any of them, or the Sun was just their sponsor. But judging by their athletic prowess, several of them definitely had to have worked for the Sun. No offense, Kitsap Sun workers. Just saying that basically a lot of people on your team had the athletic ability of my 1-year-old.
Hey, by the way, if you guys have a DVR at home, do not turn off the show to do this. But if you have the chance to set your DVR tonight at 9:00 on Root Sports, they're going to replay the '95 Game 4.
The Edgar game.
The Edgar game.
Listen,
for the American League Divisional
listen.
Series.
And can I
with the
just say
Yankees
this for
and the
those of you
Mariners.
that are actually going to go watch that game?
Don't go watch it, just DVR.
No, hold on. Why? You know how it ends. Edgar gets 7 RBIs. The Mariners win and go on to win the series. You know how the game ends. It doesn't do any good to watch it. It's like watching a bad porno. You know how it's going to end. You just know. The money shot. So listen. A lot has happened this week.
Wait a minute. Can I tell you why?
Why
why you watched that? Why you watched that game? Hold on. I want to play you the clip. Just
yes,
the
Kevin.
audio.
Why don't you tell me why I'm going to watch that game?
I'm going to tell you why you should watch that game.
Right,
and it's just for one clip, but it really is the quintessential moment in Seattle baseball history.
And Edgar doubles down the right field line. Yeah, we get it. I know. I was on pins and needles. I watched that game live from the bar.
Do you remember it?
Yep. Well, I remember that call.
Is my laptop?
I remember
hot
the
in their
girl.
strip?
I remember the girl I took home.
Was her name Jane?
Nope.
Okay.
Jane. Really? Jane, his wife. Dun 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 dun. dun.
All right. Strip. Will you make my laptop hot, please?
Or train Trey how to do it. God damn it! So that we're not always relying on you, and you're not always cutting us off.
All right. Is the laptop hot? Here we go. This is why. God bless it. It's not the What They've House doing it. Hold on, I'll find it.
No, it was a Yankees announcer, and now he's cut my microphone off. Hey, you're a schmuck.
I'm sorry. Were you saying something?
No, nothing.
I didn't think so. I thought you were just
He's
insulting
been in this
me.
mood all night tonight, by the way.
Really, that's great.
He muted it.
Maybe if you weren't such a...
He muted it again.
Wouldn't be such a problem.
You know what? You should be.
No, I don't know what.
Well, that's only.
No, it's okay.
All right,
Go
hold on,
ahead.
I'm
Go
trying
ahead.
to
What were we
find
gonna
it.
say?
Did your wife tell you that I was bringing you about $300 worth of kitchenware tonight? It's all in the truck. I got you a bunch of dishes.
yeah.
and
You're
plates
talking about the fact how you called her.
Yes.
And not me.
Because if I'd have called you, you'd have been. See, now here's the thing. My wife likes to go thrift shopping, right, Kevin? So she goes to Goodwill and she finds this.
Yeah. Hey, I'm not married. I just got that pointed out to me in here.
That's your problem. Because listen, by the way, if you don't tie her down with a ring relatively soon, some other well-meaning young man will, or old man, who knows?
I'll keep the kid, and they can pay me child support.
Anyway, here's the point. So
Yeah, that's going to happen.
So harm.
Wait a minute. That's going to happen. So any judge in their right mind is going to go, yeah, let's give the kid to the drunk guy. That's a great plan. Go ahead.
So she goes out thrift shopping, right? And she calls me up. She's like, "You're not going to believe." Now we've been looking for a new set of like bowls and plates and coffee cups, right, for our kitchen. And she calls me up. She's like, "I got a set." I'm like, "Oh Christ, how much did you spend?" She's like, $12. I'm like, "Okay, how ugly are they?" And she's like, No, look them up online. So I looked them up, and they're like PVC Pierre Card. They're like this. Anyway, long story short, it's a $700 set of plates and bowls and cups. Right?
Really?
It's called the Khaki Collection, and it's like really expensive. Like $40 for one plate is what they retail for.
Really?
In
That
brand new
much?
condition. Yeah, she got them at the freaking Goodwill for $12.50 for the whole freaking set.
That's outstanding.
I'm like, score. So I called up Sarah, and I'm like, Sarah, I wouldn't bother to call and ask Caleb this question because, well, he doesn't care. So I said, I've got like 30 dishes and a few bowls and like a bunch of like half-size dishes. And I know you guys have a lot of people come in and out of your house. You know, would you like some of my dishes? And Sarah goes to me, she goes, bring them all over. Whatever I don't use, I'll give to Goodwill. I'm like, great, score. I got 6 bags of dishes in the truck to bring in the house here for Caleb tonight. And I think that the very least Caleb could do is say, thank you.
He didn't even say thank you.
No, he won't. No, he won't say thank you. That requires manners. So what are you doing? What are you watching?
I'm trying to find that.
Why? Just leave it alone.
Because now I'm in the mood. I want to hear it.
Nobody cares. By the way, you realize
what?
That the 95 game, the thing that the Mariners fans keep going back to, the old glory days.
Yeah.
Was what's this year? 2013?
Yeah, it was
18 years ago, dude.
I get that.
It was 18 freaking years ago.
I get that.
Do you think Yankees fans go back to a game 18 years ago and go, that was the glory, that was the good old days right there, boy? Oh, this is it.
Here comes Joy. Here is Junior to third base. They're going to wave him in. The throw to the plate will be late. The Mariners are going to play for the American League.
American League Championship Series. Oh my, blah, blah, blah.
You're a prick. You cannot even go over the top of Dave Niehaus. You just can't do
God,
it.
it was so much better when he wasn't here.
Anyway, all right. 253-617-1440.
Yeah, they're going to call in. Look.
Who's going to call in?
Look, nobody, considering that you're the way you're cutting people off. Listen.
Just you. Just you.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
This has been like a 4-week thing between you two.
No, it's not between. It's him.
Of him cutting you
It's
off,
not me.
I'm saying. I just mean it's like a 4-week thing.
It's just him. So anyway, but that's fine.
I'm
Listen,
just saying it's been a 4-week thing between you guys.
All right.
Of him cutting you off.
Dude, give it up.
I'm just saying.
Stop.
Hold on. Oh, he's yelling at you now.
You're like freaking. It's like encouraging the dog to pee in the corner.
I'm just saying. What's the core to this?
There's no core.
Do Dr. Phil?
Shut up about it.
Should I
and
play
maybe he'll
Dr. Phil
stop.
and try to heal it?
It's like you don't sit there and just keep egging the dog on when he's beating up the other dog. You just,
All right, let me ask you a question.
So
that's
I'm
not
beating
related.
up the other dog.
Yeah, Caleb, that's what you're doing.
Let me ask you another question, totally not related. Minder Meats has got a deal on their website I want to ask you about because you're the barbecue guy, okay?
Barbecue pit master.
Yeah, well,
all right. You got. Oh, you.
So
gotta
Minder
get that
Meats,
right. Yes.
Minder Meats, and
Yes.
I've heard they have good meat. Have you ever bought from Minder?
They have. Yes, I have, and they have very good, very very good,
Is it
high
good quality
quality
meat?
stuff. It's
Okay.
high quality.
So tell me if this is a good deal because I'm about to get a huge influx of money if the fireworks stand goes well this year.
Yes, and I'm going to talk to you about that during the break.
So here's what we got. Ready? They have 10 pounds of pork chops, 5 pounds of pork roast, 3 chickens, 10 pounds of boneless chuck roast, 12 pounds of bone-in turkey breast, 10 pounds of bacon, 5 pounds of stew meat, 20 pounds of ground beef, 10 pounds of sirloin steak, 8 pounds of sausage, and 5 pounds of rib steaks for $440. Is that a good deal?
It depends on your basis for comparison. If you're comparing it to walking into any grocery store and buying that same stuff, then absolutely. Yes, I can tell you that that's absolutely a good deal compared to if you bought the same amount of stuff at Safeway or Albertsons or even Winco. Okay,
all right.
Now, if you were to go buy that stuff from a butcher, I would tell you, or if you were to go to somebody who had a cow and say, "Hey, I want a quarter pig and a quarter cow." Okay,
Right.
Then no, that's not a good deal. But there's a difference in that, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So, but just that for what you're doing, yes,
Yeah.
sir, that's a great
That would be a good deal?
Yeah.
All right. Because
Yeah, that's a good
it's
deal.
already cut and wrapped. And
Yeah,
everything,
that's
so
a good deal
right there.
because you're not paying for the butchering, the cutting, the wrapping, and all of the assorted stuff that goes along with it.
So it's a good deal, so I should do that?
Yeah. Well, and again, let me talk to you during the break, but I would tell you or anybody else that's listening, Minder Meats, by the way, is a very good place to go and it's a very good place to buy.
I like their stuff on there on the website.
Yeah,
so.
yeah.
And they do supply all the meats for the ballpark.
Yes.
For
they're-
Blue Jacket games.
Again, excellent products.
So they're not even a paying sponsor of this. I'm just giving them a free plug because I was looking through
That's
their
right.
website. And
That's right. I've met them. They did a lot of work with the rodeo. They do good work, quality work.
Is that what happens to some of the cows after the 4-H show?
If there are children listening to the show, now would be the appropriate time to shield their ears.
Is there a story here? Go ahead. I want to hear this.
No, I was going to answer your question with the simple word yes.
Yeah.
Moo.
Yeah. Moo.
Yeah.
All right. Fair enough then. All righty. So,
Hey, Bob, you see how slow that calf moved after it got roped? Yep, put it in that trailer over there.
Put it right over there. And tomorrow we'll be serving it up in the food court.
Fresher the better, Bob. We got the hooks out by the back. Just go right on over there, grab the chainsaw and the buckets, and make sure everything drains into the buckets. Don't let that get on the floor.
Hey, really quickly, can I bring up one thing to you before we, since we're just right up against the top of the hour? I don't want to get
please.
into topics yet. But
Please
do you know
do.
do you know what today is?
Sunday.
You know what else is today? Today is my oldest son's birthday.
Oh, yeah, I saw that. He's 21.
21 years old today.
Yeah, is he finally driving a car?
Yeah, he's
On
driving
his
a
own?
truck, yeah.
No, but on his own?
What do you mean on his own?
Well, he doesn't have, does he still just have his learner's permit?
No, he's
or-
got his license and everything now.
Okay,
yeah.
well, I
He's
just have
good,
to
yeah.
check because I like your son. I like Michael a lot. But
you don't be mean to him on his birthday.
I wasn't
just say
gonna.
happy, nice things about
happy,
his birthday. and
Happy
call it good.
birthday, Michael. He was just a day late and $1 short and behind the 8 ball on a lot of stuff. That's all I was going to say.
Even
Oh,
you
wait,
could take
he was Mormon,
even,
huh?
even you could take his 21st birthday and make mean
Is he?
things
Hold
out
on,
of
hold
it.
on.
Yeah.
It's his 21st birthday. Is he gonna?
Yeah.
Is he going to a bar? Is he gonna have a drink?
No, you actually
because
know
he's
you-
Mormon.
Can I answer the question?
Oh yeah, go ahead. Answer the question.
Thanks, ass. Do you know what he spent his 21st birthday doing today? Getting his concealed weapons permit.
Did he? I thought you were going to say something like he went to the old folks' home and he volunteered for 4 hours to help bathe Alzheimer's patients, and then I would have really felt this freaking big.
No, I mean he went today and he took a 6-hour class in Texas, which is where he's at, to get his
Mm-hmm.
concealed weapons permit.
They make you take a class down there.
Right, okay, that's what he told me when I talked to him yesterday.
Well, good for him.
Like a 6-hour.
But is he
class.
actually a
Like a
shooting
6
class on a concealed weapon?
It's they shoot, they do everything. It's
Really?
Something. I think probably some
a
training.
lot
or
of
something in
metaphors
there.
that could go along with that.
I guess so, probably.
Took a 6-hour class on how to shoot and get a concealed weapons permit.
This is not the
And-
4th hour, by the way.
I know. I'm
making
just saying.
sure
I'm just
you're aware.
asking the question. I don't know. I mean, the short amount of time I've spent in Texas was not pleasant. So
He's coming back at the end of April, at the end of August. So
yeah, the end of August.
So
Texas is going to be a whole new world for him. You know that, right? Has he expressed that to you?
what do you mean specifically? Do you mean about the heat, or you mean something else?
Well, the heat, the lifestyle, the people.
Oh yeah,
mannerisms.
Well, I don't think it'll be too differently. You got to remember that my dad is from Louisiana.
It doesn't matter. It's irrelevant. I'm just saying Texas is a whole new world. Listen, Texas is the first place I experienced open racism. You know that?
Really?
Yeah, I flew down there for an interview with an oil company, and there was a guy from Tacoma, a black guy that I flew down with, and I had a great conversation with, and you know, we had a good time, and we showed up down there, and there was this limo driver, and no joke. On a little, this is so cliche, but it's true. He had this cardboard piece of paper, piece of cardboard, and he wrote my name on it. And I went up to, hey, you know, my name's Paul, blah blah blah. And I set my luggage down, and this black gentleman that I flew down there with, and I don't remember his name, and that's fine because we only were together for like 2 days for this interview process, and I said, oh, okay, so, you know, I'm going with you, and he says, oh yeah, and I'm just waiting for somebody else. Oh, okay, what's his name? And it was this black guy's name. And I'm like, oh, you didn't have his name on the cardboard. He's like, oh, you guys were coming in on the same plane. I figured you'd be together. Okay. Well, the guy's name was clearly ethnic.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's like the kind of name that when you read it, you could tell that he was African American, which is racist in and of itself, but it still was what it was. Okay. And so then the skinny, I'm telling you, this limo driver looked like John Clayton. No joke.
Really?
Built the same way, looked the same way, looked like John freaking Clayton's brother. And he looks at me, and he's like, Now, so this African-American guy, who, by the way, is like 20 years older than me, he had to have been 55 years old, and he looks at this guy and looks at me. This guy clearly has more luggage, bigger and heavier luggage. I just had a couple of bags because we were only there for the weekend, so I just basically had a change of clothes and stuff, right? And he looks at me and he goes, "Oh, I'll take your luggage," picked up my luggage, and left the other guy to grab his own.
Are you serious?
And walked off, opened the door for me so that I could get in the limo, closed it in front of the other guy, right? I'm just like, I'm sitting there going, dude.
Wow.
Right? And I mean, that's the first time I've ever experienced what I would consider just pure in-your-face racism. Now, I'm not saying that had anything to do with Texas or the limo driver or anything. It could have been pure coincidence, but I'm thinking not. So I'm just saying. That was my one memory of Texas, that and Hooters.
Wow.
Yeah. Hooters, by the way, in Texas. Woof.
Waste of time. Are the wings good?
My ass, it's a waste of time. The wings were incredible. It was 110 degrees outside and hotter than shit inside, dude.
Yeah.
And the wings were unfreaking believable. Their wing sauces, their Daytona. Oh.
Really?
Make my mouth water. Oh, yeah.
All
So
right.
good. So good.
All right, well, let's do this. We'll take the top of the hour news break. When we come back, Paul, I have a story to bring it to you. That
this should be good.
Again, continues to show why it's unfair in this country to be a man. And I'm not defending the story itself, but it's just an illustration of why in this country, if you're a man, you are screwed from the outset.
This is your story for the 9 o'clock hour?
No, this is one of them, yeah. I know you got some stories as well, but I want to bring this up to you. I want to get your thoughts.
This can't be good.
We're going to bring a Lotion here next hour as well, as Losh has made it in. Hey, Losh! What's up, buddy? What's up? I asked him to be here at 7. He got here at 9. It was me and Strip for the first almost hour and a half. And Strip started drinking at 5. Stick around.
All right, Outlaw Radio Network on Guardian Broadcast. No, wait!
Edge
slap
Media
me.
Source.
Edge Media
Call
Source.
Mindy. Paul messed up. We're back after this.
From NPR News in Washington, I'm Jim Hawk. The Guardian newspaper has revealed the source of its recent stories about U.S. surveillance programs. He is Edward Snowden, a 29-year-old American who works as a government contractor with the National Security Agency. NPR's Nathan Rott reports Snowden wanted his identity made public.
In an interview posted on The Guardian's website, Edward Snowden describes himself as ordinary.
I'm just another guy who sits there day to day in the office, watches what's happening, and goes, this is something that's not our place to decide. The public needs to decide whether these programs and policies are right or wrong.
Those programs, one that involves a gathering of phone data from millions of Verizon customers, and another that gathers information from internet companies like Google and Facebook, have come under scrutiny since being revealed last week. National Intelligence Director James Clapper has called the leaks reckless and wants a criminal investigation into the matter. Nathan Rott, NPR News.
Suspected militants have launched an attack close to the main airport in the Afghan capital of Kabul. The airport is home to a large NATO-led military base. The sounds of explosions and gunfire began before 5 a.m. local time. South Korea says the rival Koreas will hold senior-level talks this week in Seoul in a bid to ease tensions. The two-day gathering begins Wednesday. Officials will reportedly discuss the resumption of a stalled jointly run factory park and other inter-Korean projects. The gunman who went on a shooting rampage in Southern California has been identified as 23-year-old John Zawari. Meanwhile, a fifth victim in Friday's shooting has died. NPR's Sam Sanders reports.
Santa Monica College Police Chief Albert Vasquez says 26-year-old Marcela Franco passed away Sunday morning.
Marcela had registered to attend classes this summer at Santa Monica College and was with her father, Carlos, when Friday's tragedy struck.
Her father, Carlos Franco, who worked at the college, died at the scene. Marcela arrived at the hospital in critical condition and was later downgraded to grave. The 3 other victims have not yet been named, but 2 of them are believed to have been related to the suspect. Sam Sanders, NPR News.
The youngest victim of the Boston Marathon bombings has been honored at a Roman Catholic Mass on what would have been his 9th birthday. The family of Martin Richard was joined by hundreds of people from Boston and the region in Sunday's tribute. The child was one of 3 people killed in the April 15th bombings. The NBA Finals are now even at one game apiece. The Miami Heat put on a show of basketball force tonight, overwhelming the San Antonio Spurs 103-84. Game 3 of the NBA Finals is set for this Tuesday night in San Antonio, Texas. You're listening to NPR News in Washington. Rafael Nadal of Spain made history at the French Open today, becoming the first man to win 8 titles at the same Grand Slam tournament. Nadal defeated countryman David Ferrer in 3 straight sets. NPR's Eleanor Beardsley is in Paris.
When his final forehand landed for a winner, Nadal's momentum and emotion sent him sprawling backwards onto the clay courts he loves. The King of Clay also broke the men's record for match wins at the French Open. This year's title was especially sweet for Nadal back after 7 months with a knee injury. Nadal was in total control on the court, except when protesters calling for French President François Hollande to resign tried to disrupt the second set. One man jumped onto the court near Nadal with a fiery flare spurting white smoke until security personnel dragged him away. With his 12th Grand Slam championship, Nadal is tied for 3rd place with Roy Emerson, behind Roger Federer's 17 and Pete Sampras's 14. Eleanor Beardsley, NPR News, Paris.
Transportation Security Administration agents in Denver briefly stopped actor Peter Mayhew as he was boarding a flight with a cane shaped like a Star Wars lightsaber. The 7-foot-tall actor played Chewbacca in the movies. Airport officials say they needed to inspect the huge walking stick, and Mayhew was held up for only a few minutes. The suspense thriller The Purge is the big draw in movie theaters this weekend. The Universal film starring Ethan Hawke nearly doubled industry expectations, earning more than $36 million. In a near tie for 2nd and 3rd place, Fast and Furious 6 and the Magician movie Now You See Me both took in nearly $20 million. The Internship opened in 4th place. I'm Jim Hawk, NPR News in Washington.
The Outlaw Radio Network.
I'm Elaine Terso with Elaine Terso Photography. Let me tell you why I say that I am not your average photographer. At Elaine Terso Photography, I can handle all of your photography needs, including weddings, families, and newborns. I have an in-home studio, or I am able to come to you to take photos wherever you want to be. Mention Guardian Broadcasting when you book, and I will give you a 10% discount. For more information, visit me online at ElaineTersoPhotography.com or find me on Facebook.
Getting married, entertaining clients, or maybe you're just having a bash with your friends. No matter the occasion, make sure you plug into the tunes with E&M Entertainment. There are tons of DJs out there, but how many of them want to get to know you beforehand so they can play your soundtrack at your event at your kind of price? It's more than just a great selection. E&M plays your great selection, and that makes all the difference. So call 425-971-8078. That's 425-971-8078 for E&M Entertainment.
Paladin Data Systems is in the business of successful technology product deployment. Paladin Data Systems provides information management products and solutions to government agencies and others that need a trusted, experienced technology partner. Paladin's core philosophy is simple: do right, do our best, and treat others the way we would like to be treated. Paladin Data Systems is also a proud sponsor of the Habitat for Humanity of Kitsap County. Find out more about Paladin Data Systems online at paladindata.com. Paladin Data Systems. Innovation, integrity, results.
Hey, sports fans, have you ever wished there was a live and local all-sports broadcasting network, but wish no more? It's ISBNsports.com, Kitsap's only live and local all-sports 24-hour broadcasting network, featuring the Kitsap Blue Jackets, Olympic College Rangers, high school athletics, and the ISBN Sports Show every Saturday morning from 10 to noon with interviews from exclusive guests from around the Sound. So, you want sports? Go to ISBNsports.com.
Did you know volunteering with the Bremerton Central Lions Club can be fun? Community services for everyone. Young people, families, men, women. As a volunteer, you'll help your community and gain valuable skills, network with others, energize your life, make an impact, and have fun. Get in step with your community and volunteer. Visit us at bremertoncentralwa.lionwap.org.
As Kitsap County's largest maintenance provider, Team Innovative in Paulsbo provides commercial and residential maintenance to hundreds of millions of dollars of local real estate. With services including parking lot maintenance and street cleaning to landscape and design, Team Innovative is committed to using a green approach and following a strong environmental conscience. Team Innovative Services, 697-6858, or visit them online at getinnovative.net. Team Innovative Services, get serious, get innovative.
Judy's Sewing in East Bremerton is your one-stop shop for all your sewing, alteration, and clothing repair needs. At Judy's Sewing, you can also find tuxedo rentals and bridal party dresses for only $69 and bride's dresses starting at $189. Judy's Sewing at the corner of Fairgrounds Road and Central Valley in East Bremerton, near Handy Andy's, or call Judy at 360-662-1212. That's right, 360-662-1212 for Judy's Sewing.
The Legacy Group in Silverdale is a well-respected independent mortgage banker, absolutely committed to helping Kitsap County families on their path to home ownership. As an employee-owned company, the Legacy Group has a strong stake in your success, and they want to be your lifetime partner in helping you develop a strong real estate portfolio. Call the Legacy Group in Silverdale today at 698-6440 and find out how they can help you get started on the road to home ownership. 698-6440 for the Legacy Group, a lending experience that's a little different and a lot smarter. It's the Outlaw Radio Network as we're moving along into hour number 3. Final hour of this show. Stick around as the last call is around the corner, starting off at 10 o'clock. You know what's outstanding is the last call tonight. We will discuss, at least in part, K-Dog gets personal again, which will be fun.
Are we going to get a chance to talk? Listen, and I know you don't air your personal stuff on the show.
I do sometimes.
No, you do. I was being facetious.
Shut your mouth then.
And I know that we can't talk about anything that you do, say, or anything that happens at work. But that doesn't mean that I can't change the names of the innocent to protect the guilty.
Yeah.
Which gives me the opportunity to absolutely talk about things that happens at work. For you, so that when you call me and give me stories about person A having sex with person B in the closet, I mean, I can talk about that as long as I change the names, right?
I don't really know what you're talking about. We'll talk about that at break. I want to make sure I understand what you're talking about before.
Well, it's just a federal building. It's just a federal job, the federal security clearance.
Yeah, what are you talking about?
Can I talk about these people that have had that instead of
sex in the closet?
Yes,
I'm
exactly.
not really sure what you're talking about.
I'm messing with you, brother.
It's like my kind of government building.
Right?
You're a weird cat, dude.
I listen.
I don't know what you're talking about. All right,
because I answered the phone this week when you called me frustrated and pissed off at your job.
About what I told you about.
And I will never say a word about that on air. But I was trying to make you sweat a little bit, and I was so mad. I just had to vent to my buddy I pray to all that is holy that one day we're able to reveal the story. But the truth is, as a result of confidentiality, I am more concerned about his job than I am about.
Well, and in all honesty, I didn't give you anything specific.
That's true. That's very true.
Any information? It was just about the scenario itself. And,
that's very true.
I'm legally allowed to talk about
your two coworkers having sex in the coffee closet, and I'm not saying that to throw any libertarians under the bus.
Libertarians.
But if your name is Lee and you had sex in a coffee closet at the IRS office, you probably I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
I don't think we have coffee closets now that I think about it.
I'm totally playing. I'm just kidding. It had nothing to do with that whatsoever. Yes.
Let me read this story really quick.
You know what? I think I'd be very, very cautious before asking for cream in my coffee ever again after that.
Jim's like, oh, thank you. Ooh, look, that's a good brew. It's Sumatra. Yes, and cream of some yungoi.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly. Hey, is the age on this half and half expired?
Yeah, it looks a little lumpy.
Tell you what, why don't you go ahead and keep that?
Wow, I'm going to leave that alone too. Hey, I'm going to read this story. Let me
go
read
ahead. Read the story.
And I want to, and I'm going to ask some questions, and I want to get your guys' thoughts on this. And I will start this off by saying I'm in no way endorsing what this dude did. This dude's a schmuck in the worst way. But
you've been pretty adamant during the break about how you feel about this story. So go ahead and read it.
This is out of Tampa, Florida. A Tampa, Florida man stands accused of tricking his girlfriend into taking the abortion pill that killed the couple's unborn child. John Andrew Weldon, 28, henceforth known as the douchebag, decided that he did not want the baby his girlfriend, Remy Lee, 26, was carrying, and devised a devious plan to end the pregnancy despite the fact that Miss Lee decided she wanted to keep the child. After hearing of the pregnancy, Weldon took his girlfriend to his father, who was an obstetrician. Miss Lee didn't have medical insurance, so she agreed to the examination. Afterwards, his father told her that she, quote, had an infection. It was ascertained that Weldon had forged the name of his father, the obstetrician, in order to get a prescription for a drug that is used to force the termination of pregnancies through induced labor. Police say the accused placed the baby-killing pills in a bottle and then added a false label, causing his girlfriend to believe that the drug was the simple drug amoxicillin, which is a common antibiotic that she was supposed to take to clear up the false infection that Weldon convinced her that she had. Weldon then convinced his girlfriend to take the drug, which soon caused the woman to lose the baby. She was 6 weeks pregnant. If he is found guilty of murder under the federal, quote, Protection of Unborn Children Act, Weldon could face life in prison. So, the questions are this. First of all, I am not in any way debating the fact that he in some way assaulted the mother in the process of doing this. Mm-hmm. My question is this. One, how can he be charged in murder of the unborn baby when the mother could have had an abortion legally and it would have been fine? And two, how is it that the mother could decide to have an abortion legally, but the father could not, when they are both equal parts in ownership of the baby that was each half theirs because of their DNA, blah, 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 blah. Again, I'm not condoning what he did, but let's look at the overall legal ramifications of this story.
Yeah,
which is the woman could legally kill the baby, which was as much hers as it is his. He could say, I want the baby. I want to be the dad. Give the baby to me. And she could say, screw you, fat ass. I'm killing the baby.
I'm going to defer to Jim on this one in just a half a second, because I am 100% certain that Jim absolutely feels, understands, and knows what I think and feel about this. Having said that, before I defer to Jim, I just want to make one thing clear. I find your choice of words interesting as the liberal Democrat on the panel here.
Sure.
Because you've made the statement that to kill the baby.
I was reading this verbatim from a conservative website.
You still made the words. The words still came out of your mouth. And we've had the discussion many times on this show about abortion and about people, for example, standing out, holding up their signs that are very graphic in front of Planned Parenthood and whatnot. And I just find your choice of words with regards to your description of the story, I find them interesting because I think that in a lot of ways, and that I think that you are of exactly the same mindset as myself. I think I know what Jim feels about it with 99% certainty, but I don't want to speak for him.
Okay.
But at least as far as I'm concerned, I think that you feel exactly the same as me, but I think that for political reasons, you hold off. And so I'm gonna go ahead and defer to Jim and let Jim speak to this point about what he feels about this before I speak, because this is something that, as everybody who's listening to the show knows, that I'm very, 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 very passionate about, almost militantly passionate about. So, Jim,
I got a couple of things on this one that I'm a little unclear on.
Sure.
Number one, he went out and forged his dad's signature to get a prescription for the morning after, not the morning after.
I think that's basically right.
That's the impression that I got. Yeah,
basically.
So
Plan
she wasn't necessarily even pregnant then at that point.
She was 6 weeks pregnant at the time that this happened.
Okay, so Plan B isn't going to work at that point.
Yeah, it wouldn't work.
So you're a little late there. And then the other thing is,
they didn't say Plan B. They said it was a drug that was designed to cause her to lose the baby by forced labor. So at 6 weeks
So it must
old,
have been
premature
like
forced labor.
Yeah.
It
would
must have
kill
been like
them.
Pitocin or Oxytocin then.
it actually does give the name. It says that
Yeah.
it was. Let me read it. Let me look at it here.
Yeah, see if it was
um,
Pitocin, because that basically forces the mother into labor.
Misoprostol, cytotic.
All right. Okay.
Misoprostol, cytotic.
Hold on, I'll look it up.
A drug used to force the termination of pregnancies through induced labor.
Yeah,
is what it says.
Okay, so he goes out and gets this Mr. Gone Postal thing and
Sure.
Decides he's going to throw it in an amoxicillin bottle and then change the label. No, he goes out and gets a prescription.
Well, it's even
for
worse
what
than
it
that.
is, and then changes the label to amoxicillin somehow.
Well, it's even worse than that. He convinces his father to have her come in for a medical appointment. Her father then lies and says,
So we've got
you have an
malpractice.
infection. Yeah, you have an infection. You need to take meds to cure the infection. She didn't really have an infection.
So there's the amoxicillin.
And then that she is going to now take amoxicillin that she doesn't really need to take. And
Which isn't
he
really
then-
going to. It's not going to hurt you to take amoxicillin that's unnecessary. Not
Right, but-
reasonably
but-
is it going to hurt you?
Right, but then he switches the amoxicillin for this medication that's going to cause her to lose the baby.
Do you guys want me to read you the official warning for cytotic, which is the technical name for misoprostol?
Yeah, go ahead.
It's administration to women who are pregnant can cause birth defects. That's number one.
Mm-hmm.
Number two, abortion or premature birth. Uterine rupture has been reported when cytotic was administered in pregnant women to induce labor or to induce abortion beyond the 8th week of pregnancy. Cytotic should not be taken by pregnant women to reduce the risk of ulcers induced by non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs. Okay, that I think I read enough.
So
Go
what
ahead.
he was trying to accomplish is obvious here. There was the intent was to abort the child.
Yeah, cause a premature abortion.
This is kind of a double-edged sword. I don't know what the Protection of Unborn Babies Act reads or what it protects. But
is there a Protection of Unborn Babies Act?
What was that?
That's what it said in the article. It says right here. It
Yeah.
says.
Let's look it up. Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead and look it up really quick, and I'll read this. If he is found guilty of murder under the Federal Protection of Unborn Children Act,
Okay.
Weldon could face life in prison, is what it says.
Okay, Protection of Unborn
Well,
Children
okay, so
Act,
that
yes.
one's. I mean, if it falls under that, hey, I don't see how you're going to get off on that charge. I really don't.
Well, no, and I'm not
Malpractice
saying
for the dad, I think, is probably one thing that'll be that's going to come up at some point as well.
Well, yeah, and I'm not saying that he's going to get off, and I'm not even quite. I don't think I want him to get off because clearly this guy's a scumbag douchebag. I mean, he made that clear by what he did and the amount of extent that he went to make sure that he'd never have to pick up a child support check.
But this is a hypocritical issue here too, though. I mean, a woman can walk in just as stated earlier, can walk in without the consent of the father and say, "Hey, I want this thing out of me at any given time."
Sure, exactly. And I think that's
for the
Kevin's
father
point.
to turn around and make that to do the exact same thing, unbeknownst to her,
I think that-
which is amazing. But the fact that he was able to do that, why should he be held any more liable than she was?
Exactly.
Outside of the fact that there could be other damage to her body. If you can prove other damages, then and if it doesn't fall into the Protection of Unborn Children Act, then the only thing you really have is
Well, it's actually
Assault?
a very
Assault?
small law.
No,
Would you guys like to hear what this is?
Yeah, please do. Go ahead.
The Protection of Unborn Children. A, whoever engages in contact that violates any of the provisions of law listed in subsection B and thereby causes the death of or bodily injury as defined in section 1365 to a child who is in utero at the time the conduct takes place is guilty of a separate offense under this section. Essentially what this law is it's designed as a tool for law enforcement and prosecutors to be able to go after individuals that hurt, kill,
push
or
the
injure
mother
a
down
woman.
the stairs, punch her in the stomach.
Some woman who's pregnant. That's what this bill is designed for. It goes on to say, except as otherwise provided in this paragraph, the punishment for that separate offense is the same as the punishment provided under federal law for that conduct had that injury or death occurred to the unborn child's mother. So it's saying basically, you killed the child, not the mother, but we're going to treat it as though you actually killed the mother.
Sure.
That's what they're saying. Okay. And it says an offense under this section does not require proof that A, the person engaging in the conduct had knowledge or should have had knowledge that the victim of the underlying offense was pregnant. So
that's dangerous.
So you didn't have to know she was pregnant.
So you don't have to have intent, essentially.
That's right. And B, the defendant intended to cause the death of or bodily injury to the unborn child. So either you intended to abort the child. According to this law, which you've just told me, he's guilty of sin of this law.
So, Chris Brown, just a little message. Be careful.
Oh, shit.
The next time Rihanna acts
Make
up.
sure that Rihanna's
Okay.
nice. But again, and I'm not...
If your girl's pregnant, don't kick her in the gut. It could be a problem.
You're an idiot.
I know. I'm so
listen,
going to hell.
I'm not in any way either saying
Tro's
that-
over there in the sound booth looking at me going, oh, no, he did not. Okay, go ahead.
Listen, I'm not in any way either indicating that in any way, okay, that he should be able to get off on this. That's not what I'm saying.
He probably got off on something.
Really?
Obviously did at some point.
But
Made a
what
bank deposit.
But what I am implying here is that the rules that apply on a case like this, when we're talking about, let's just sum up what this is about.
Kevin, you're bringing up a very interesting point, and I will freely admit, I think
what he's driving.
I think what strikes me here on this is that you're not an anti-abortion guy. You're not a pro-life guy like I am or like Loesch is. You're fully in favor of a woman's right to have an abortion, and what strikes me as odd here is now, as a result of this story, you're in support of a man's right to. It's like you're conflicted. You know.
I'm conflicted in a couple of ways here because, and again, I'm not making excuses for what he did or the way that he did it. I think this wackadoodle needs to go to prison.
And I want to
for a
make sure
very
everybody
long time.
understands that. I think Loesch, are we understanding
We're
him
aligned.
correctly?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
I think this wackadoodle needs to go to jail for a very long time. But one of the things we talked about on this show before is that there's a very big gap in the rights that are afforded to men versus women when it comes to custody and child support and parental rights and abortion and all of that. We've talked about that before. And this illustrates what I think is a key example in that, which is this mother could have said, I don't want this kid. I'm going to have an abortion. And she could have gone down, had the abortion. The dad could have said, I want the baby. I want to raise the baby. I want to be a dad. Maybe he's in his late 30s, late 40s. Maybe he will never have kids again.
Maybe he's Hef in his 70s and wants to actually leave something before he takes off.
Maybe he's one of those guys that have really low sperm counts. He thought he'd never have a kid. This woman just got pregnant, and now he thinks this is his one shot to be a father, and he wants that
there's
chance.
Not a damn thing he could do.
Not a damn thing he can do about it. And she can say, I don't want this kid. I'm going to have an abortion. He has no right at all.
This guy effectively did the exact same thing to her.
Exactly. And again, I'm not defending the track that he took or any of that. And I believe he should be charged with assault because he did assault her. He did commit a crime against her. He did violate her. But
so hold on. Before you give your let me ask you, then do you feel that an abortion doctor should be charged with assault after conducting an abortion?
Well, no, because abortion is legal, so you can't.
Listen, lots of things are
consensual assault by that same argument.
I'm just looking for you to clarify because honestly, and I'm not saying this to take away from your argument. I get your argument. I'm actually not disagreeing with you, but I think what I'm trying to figure out here is where's the difference in your argument. If this is how you feel, why aren't you out there standing up in the same manner against abortion? Why aren't you out there on the street saying, "Hey, women"?
Because again, now this is where you and I will split diametrically because you are opposed to abortion.
That's where I stand on my high horse, and you kind of in the trough.
But listen, you are opposed to a woman's right to choose. I believe that the woman's right to choose needs to be protected.
I am against a woman's rights to choose death for an unborn child.
But I believe that there still has to be some things put in place to protect a father's rights in that process.
But again, I've never heard you say to protect the life of the unborn child who has no voice.
Again.
No, that's what I'm looking to hear you say.
And I understand that. Can
you say that?
No. You want me
I'm
to
just
come
asking
around,
you to say it.
You want K-Dog to come around to St. Paul's way of thinking. And
I just ask you. You're
You're asking if I think that there should be laws put in place to protect the unborn fetus.
I'm asking you, should the unborn have rights?
Should
they?
Now let me answer this question with two different answers.
I can see that. See Losh's head? He turned. When that question was he just turned. He looking at you.
Do I believe that
everybody's looking at you?
Hold on. Do I believe that the unborn fetus should be protected? Yes. However,
there's a caveat.
Not at the expense of the woman's decision in the process. Meaning
you're pussy whipped.
Hold on. No.
I know it's okay.
Meaning, as I've said before, personally, I do not believe that abortion should be the casual option that people should use in the case of birth control. I don't believe that abortion should be casually.
Well, it sounds
flung
like you're okay with it.
No, hold on. I don't believe that personally abortion should be used as, oh my God, I'm pregnant, I don't want to be, I'm just going to get rid of the baby.
But you are okay with that.
Hold on. No. What I'm saying is the decision on how abortion is used is a personal choice that has to be made personally. I don't think the government needs to get into that because, as I've said before, if the government reaches the conclusion, I think most people would be okay if you said, we're going to allow abortion in the cases of rape, incest, or to save the mother's life.
Sure.
And as I've said before, the challenge with that becomes how many women would then claim rape because they wanted the abortion at the risk of sending an innocent man to jail. So what I believe is instead, we need to let the women choose. However,
you're not answering my question.
Hold on, I'm going to answer your question now. We need to let the women choose, but we need to do two separate things. We need to pass laws to give fathers the rights, more rights in the case to deciding because the baby is half theirs and they're going to have to pay child support and half of the associated costs for the rest of that baby's life. That means they should have half the say. And I'm sorry, bitches, if you don't want to carry the baby for 9 months before the dad takes custody of it and raises it, then I'm sorry. You should have thought about that the same way the dad's going to have to think about it if he's paying child support for the next 18 years. And secondly, you need to broaden out the scope of programs for adoption, for foster care, to find homes to make more attractive options to get.
Yeah, you're getting off.
But what I'm saying is you have to figure out ways to make abortion not as attractive and not as easy of an option. Because right now it's as simple as let me go lay in a stirrup, spread my legs, and I'm out of there in 90 minutes. And there's no no repercussion back to the father, and there's no way that there's nothing to encourage you to put the baby up for adoption. You want to encourage adoption over abortion?
Hey,
are you asking me? Oh, go ahead. Sure.
What about the idea about young adults realizing that they just are not capable of taking care of a child because either A, they're messed up in the head, can't financially support them.
Adoption's
not. That's not an answer.
You're
no,
kidding?
It's not. No, it's not. You know how many kids? No. You want to know why?
Give $5 grand to a young adult girl who's pregnant with a baby she doesn't want, and say, you know what? You can have that abortion. It's legal, but instead, if you carry that baby to term, and that baby is born, and she's not addicted to drugs, and she's not going through heroin withdrawal, and that baby comes out healthy and she's fine, we'll cut you a check for $5 grand. The government is blowing money on a whole bunch of bullshit stuff, including sending money to Egypt to arm the militia. And sending money to fucking Syria and Afghanistan and every other fucking corner of the globe.
Or the IRS to pay for conferences that cost $4 million in San Antonio.
We can give a $5,000 check to one of these young adult girls and say, you can legally have the abortion. That's fine. Or we'll give you a $5,000 check when that baby comes out healthy and fine and not addicted to crack.
Hold on.
How is it not a bad idea? There's people left and right that want to adopt newborn babies.
It's not a good idea because you're going to have women stop parping out kids like it's a profit center.
And who cares?
No, here's your problem.
And who cares?
No. Yeah, you know what? Actually, let them.
But
let them.
I would say that, Absolutely.
I'm not going to fault that.
Brad and Angelina would pick up 12 of them like that.
Yeah, they might. Yeah, from another country, not from the U.S.
This country needs more brood mares anyways, really.
Think about this, though.
We really do.
Think about how many kids out there are already in foster care that could use a nice home to go to.
Foster care is not newborns.
Okay.
Newborns
there's a big difference.
Newborns are picked up like that.
Hold on. We're nothing. I mean, when you look down, you break it down, we're animals. Animal instincts overall. We really do. We really are. I mean, we have same instincts to survive, right?
This is going to be good.
No, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
You look at a dog out in the wild, This is serious. If the mother dies, those
Right.
puppies die.
All right, wild dog. Okay.
Yeah.
Dead
We're the
puppies.
only
See K-Dog in the wild.
real
He's railing up against the chain
freaking
link
thing
fence,
on this
yeah.
earth where people, that actually take care of other kids. But there's
That's
so many
not
kids out
true.
there in foster care. I mean, just let them have the choice. Stop. It's been going on for thousands of years.
What has?
Abortion.
I don't even know what the hell that means. I've been told to check the chat room, but my computer is froze up on that screen. So give,
All right,
give me a
listen.
second. I'm trying to realize.
Listen,
Hold on.
I
Before you do, hold on, stop it.
No, we're late.
No, I have comments in the chat room that I'm trying to check.
We're
So
going to
will you
get to
stop
them
for a
after the
second?
break.
We're going to get to him after the break. Kevin,
for God's
Kevin,
sakes.
take it down a notch. Take it down a notch, brother.
The internet worked in here. I wouldn't have to be patient.
Not down so much that you lose
Somebody
touch
should
with reality.
Somebody should pay the goddamn internet bill in this place.
Oh, that's
Hey,
good.
Mindy, pay the goddamn bills! Outlaw Radio Network. We're back after this.
The Outlaw Radio Network.
I'm Elaine Terso with Elaine Terso Photography. Let me tell you why I say that I am not your average photographer. At Elaine Terso Photography, I can handle all of your photography needs, including weddings, families, and newborns. I have an in-home studio, or I am able to come to you to take photos wherever you want to be. Mention Guardian Broadcasting when you book, and I will give you a 10% discount. For more information, visit me online at ElaineTersoPhotography.com or find me on Facebook.
Getting married, entertaining clients, or maybe you're just having a bash with your friends. No matter the occasion, make sure you plug into the tunes with E&M Entertainment. There are tons of DJs out there, but how many of them want to get to know you beforehand so they can play your soundtrack at your event at your kind of price? It's more than just a great selection. E&M plays your great selection, and that makes all the difference. So call 425-971-8078. That's 425-971-8078 for E&M Entertainment.
Paladin Data Systems is in the business of successful technology product deployment. Paladin Data Systems provides information management products and solutions to government agencies and others that need a trusted, experienced technology partner. Paladin's core philosophy is simple: do right, do our best, and treat others the way we would like to be treated. Paladin Data Systems is also a proud sponsor of the Habitat for Humanity of Kitsap County. Find out more about Paladin Data Systems online at paladindata.com. Paladin Data Systems. Innovation, integrity, results.
Hey, sports fans, have you ever wished there was a live and local all-sports broadcasting network? Well, wish no more. It's ISBNsports.com. Kitsap's only live and local all-sports 24-hour broadcasting network, featuring the Kitsap Blue Jackets, the Olympic College Rangers, high school athletics, and the ISBN Sports Show every Saturday morning from 10 to noon with interviews from exclusive guests from around the Sound. So, you want sports? Go to ISBNsports.com.
Did you know volunteering with the Bremerton Central Lions Club can be fun? Community services for everyone. Young people, families, men, women.